All right, let's get yeah, there we go. How's it going, everybody? Today has been a day filled with trials, but let me say hello to all the nice nerds. How you doing, Jay? Congratulations on your first. How you doing, Horror Loving? Moist, how you doing, Chakra? How you doing, Zetai? How you doing, Ars? How you doing, Matthew? And oh boy, I just got hit with some devastating, like I say, devastating news. And how you doing, Dark Muffin? Welcome. I don't mean like actual serious devastating, but like between needing to work an extra hour to guild today, and then I come home to this. There's new information about Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2. Wow, there's 3 editions. Whoa, with different features. Whoa, they put the Ankar sarcophagus in DLC. Wow, cool. What? La Sombra clan? Oh, DLC? Oh, that's cool, neat. They fucking put Toreador behind a paywall. What the fuck? What are you doing? What for? Okay. For people who do not know anything about Vampire the Masquerade, Toreador is one of the sort of like iconic vampire clans. They're sort of like oh, we're like pretty boys and like saucy ladies, and we like art and culture and whatnot. They're the kind of like prissy vampire kind of got going on. The real like, ooh, being a vampire is fun. I love that hedonism. And they're in a paywall. They made that, like, I need to emphasize it's straight up there. It's basically like, if you know D&D, imagine if they made like cleric DLC, just like the base class. They released like, you know, fighter and wizard, but like, no, fuck you, cleric is DLC. Ugh. Pain, agate even. How you doing, Junie? Welcome, everybody. Welcome. I was upset. I was upset about the new Vampire the Masquerade, like, DLC paywall bullshit. How's Spencer Hot World's treating you? How's that treating you? For people who do not know me, I'm Halbernot the Mimic Elf, miniature painting VTuber of the Nurgle and Skaven variety. And how you doing, Charlie? How you doing? Today I want to get this Chaos Spawn finished. That's today's primary goal. That is the main goal for what I'm doing today. Yeah, the fucking it's pain. It's agony. Yeah, let's go mimic modo. Let me keep my apron though, because I gotta make sure that I don't get any paint in my mouth. That'd be awkward. Yep, ad break. Oh, god damn it. Of course, the ad break mutant stuff right before I start. That's fine. I assume you guys are an ad shade, but so I'll go and get like a little bit. I will get a little bit more paint on the lag. I feel like the purples like are a little too dark, so I'm trying to like brighten it up just like a smidgen. Especially because I'm going to be dulling the fuck out of this come the... That should be good. That'll be fine. It'll be fine. There we go. We're at Agile. I'm doing pretty good otherwise. Yeah, I pretty much was like, you know, anytime like we're not going to have the same creative team, and even the creative team who did do the original Vampire Masquerade Bloodlines is basically like long gone anyway. It's another one of those things. It's like man, like BioWare's gone to shit. Like BioWare hasn't been BioWare in like a decade, well, longer than that even. Like the cracks of the BioWare was already happening during like the Mass Effect era, and I like those games. But like it's real. So I don't think I was ever gonna buy it. So I guess I'm not really that disappointed in the grand scheme of things. But hey, Dawn of War 4 is real, which is, I guess I'm not too surprised. As soon as they started like doing the remasters, I'm like, oh no, they're building hype. They're building hype for sure. But hey, and that gives me some time to get around to playing 1, and then apparently 2 might be getting a remaster as well, which is kind of neat. Yeah, well, so especially because like, so Vampire, even I would say even more than D&D's, like your class is very much an expression of the character. Like you can do a lot of things with like different vampires, like with different like D&D classes. But like, you know, like I'd argue being a Toreador is a bigger personality indicator than being like a fighter. I mean, there's some other ones that might have some other things. How you doing, Fancy? Welcome. How you doing? Man, it does kind of suck. Yes, I know you so wanted me to complete the circuit, and I will, because like, you know, I have to in that instance. My hands were tied, not just because they were holding the paintbrush, but because like, you know, I kind of had to in that instance. But yeah, it's a bummer. The nice thing about, like, at the end of the day, if Vampire gets totally fucked, hey, there's always the TRPG. There are decades of that TRPG being cool, and even if the Vampire 5e is fine, I guess there's some issues to it, but it's not the worst game ever. I had a good enough campaign with it, and like the rules weren't like super like backbreaking or whatever in a negative way. Yeah, I'm working on the Chaos Spawn today because I would still like to get them theoretical video for them. Is still theoretically in the works. God, making videos are hard. it really is. It's like I find myself struggling at every turn. Dracula don't suck. Dracula scrapes with his fangs and licks up the blood. Scrape and lick. I know, Joker. Welcome. Yeah, I was talking about how basically they've announced that Toreador is going to be a DLC clan for the new Vampire Bloodlines 2, and how that made me the big sad. I think I have that. That's the one that talks about like Old Blood's Meesk, right? Where originally they were more like actual Draculas, like not even like the joke to like call them vampires Draculas, but they were just more like Dracula. And then I believe in the original canon it was like an alien space virus thing. Like their discipline was basically like an alien parasite that kind of fucked them up. Which, man, 90s vampire lore like is bonkers. There's something about just the way the brain worked for like all these like kind of like the way fiction worked in the 90s, where you can just say sentences like that. I mean, not that like people don't do like weird shit like that in like the various 2000s eras, but like late 90s, early 2000s, you're like, yeah, no, vampire space parasite. I also just liked all those like games where the premise was like, Vampire was like that too, where like the idea of like reaching enlightenment was sort of like a campaign goal. Like it's you can still do that in later editions of Vampire, but like there is sort of like a like weird sort of like sub thing of like, yeah, you can do like clan politics and stuff like that, but some characters, their goal is just to like, reach vampire enlightenment and truly become like one with the beast, which I also enjoy. Like the campaign goal of enlightenment is just such a fucking 90s thing. It's super fun. Yeah, also I added some extra like dirt and some like cork to fill in the shoes of this guy so he fits a bit more evenly, which is why I'm going back and like painting all this stuff green, because I was like, well, I could just leave that brown. This is going to be like a sewer base anyway. But there's like little cork bits and stuff that were just kind of visible. I was like, oh, okay, I'll just do like rough green, and then if there's any like little brown specks that remain, they'll still be good. They'll still be good. Yeah, there's like I remember when I ran Vampire 5e, I would just go back and use a lot of the lore from the older editions because it was way more fun that way. Hey, how you doing, Bunny? Welcome. How you doing? See, I feel bad because I know a lot of people like Hellsing Ultimate. Do you ever have that like friend who's really insistent about watching something and it like makes you... I had a friend who was really into Hellsing Abridged and would bring it up a lot, and like I liked the regular Hellsing at the time, and it was just like, I don't know, it's just he kept bringing it up enough until eventually like my brain just got like a negative word association for Hellsing Abridged. I'm sure maybe if I watched it now I'd be like, oh, this is fine. There's there's no need to be upset kind of thing going on, but till then. Books are with the lore. Yeah. It's the company made Vampire. Like, you mean are you thinking Pentex, or is there a different evil company? I do love that basically the antagonist of Werewolf the Forsaken. I forget if it's Forsaken or Apocalypse is the older werewolf. But I do just love that Pentex is like straight up like a Captain America villain. Captain Planet villain. Where it's just like, what's your goal today, Pentex? We're gonna put pollutants in the water. Why? Except in Captain Planet, the villains were just like, just because we can. We just want to. We're just assholes. And then they're like, we must awaken the worm. The worm. I did really. That's just such a really like silly thing. I did enjoy that quite a bit. I think generally Vampire was the one that I preferred. Old World of Darkness, but once you get into some of the other, I think also Old Mage too. Old Mage, I believe, had a better meta plot than Awakening, though. with the usual caveat that like the older editions were probably like way more sane to run. I mean, the newer editions were like the what's it called? New World of Darkness, which I think is now Chronicles of Darkness because it's no longer the newest one. Because God, everything to do with White Wolf as a company is fucked up. Isn't? Last I heard, I think White Wolf is back, but like, don't quote me on that one. I swear that company has like died and revived more than like fucking like Kenny South Park. Like it's just like every time I look into White Wolf, it's just in this like perpetual state of like, are you still dead? My brother and sister. No, that's a mood. The thing is, like, sometimes I can be convinced for things. I just think it needs to be done with some degree of like self-control. Like I don't know. I'm trying to think of some like other instances of things that were sort of like that. Probably Final Fantasy 14. Yeah. Cheers, like I don't remember. To be fair, like I was definitely around when Captain Planet was on the air, and I've seen episodes, but I don't think I retained like any of it. It was always just kind of like, oh, okay, Captain Planet's on. Sure, okay. I'm a dumb child. I'll watch any cartoon to a certain degree. There's so much trim on these guys. These guys have the legs of some chaos, like chaos possessed. Of course, I make a fleshy abomination and it still has trim somehow because fuck me, I guess. The other idea is I just paint all the trim. That's another thought I could do is I could just paint a lot more of the trim and just kind of paint around that, but a little trickier with these guys because some of their trim just straight up isn't super noticeable. And then a lot of it is flesh, so I'll just probably be like over painting. That'll be fine though, that'll be fine. So wait, so there's an audio clip out there of Jeff Goldblum being like, that man has AIDS! You know, I know what Jeff Goldblum sounds like, but I don't know. I know that he's got a recognizable enough voice that you could do like a kind of like impersonation of Jeff Goldblum and people would be like, oh shit, nice. I just mean like as a concept. I don't have his voice in like my mental Rolodex just ready to go. It's just like one of those like core voices I just lack. But it's also one of those ones that I feel like if I could do a good Jeff Goldblum well, I would have like employment's maybe a strong word. I would have opportunities. There we go. That's a better thing. Yeah, that could also be one of those ones that aired like once and they're like, oh, we maybe went a little too hard on this one. Let's put that back in the freezer and just like, you know, if anyone mentions it, sure, but until then, we're just gonna pretend it doesn't exist. Oh, but I think the ones I saw were just generic. Like this is like some company trying to put, like, you know, just like pour pollutants into a lake, and the reason to do that is like money, evil corporation, and you know, like Captain Planet just stops them. Pretty standard bullshit. Get your little PSAs at the very end for the extra like good for society points. I guess I was about to say cartoons early don't do PSAs anymore, but I don't think they've done PSAs for a while. I think even just thinking about them briefly just kind of kind of puts me in a certain age bracket. I was even sort of when they were on their way out, though, to be fair. Like I know Sonic did a bunch of PSAs. I didn't watch a huge amount. That's another one of those instances where I could have became obsessed with Sonic, but I didn't. Because I didn't used to watch like the Saturday morning one. And I just used to watch the one that had like the chicken and the like ring robot with the drill. That's about the best I could describe him. But that was like the most Sonic that I ever interacted with until I got Sonic Adventure 2 Battle. I see you come with the black. Oh my god. I wonder if people ever like try to like blackmail celebrities with like old shit they said on shows. Like, I don't think anyone should give Jeff Goldblum shit for that. But I could so see some like, well, how do you feel about this, Mr. Bloom? Age Sonic 34. Oh god. There was legitimately a period where like I do distinctly remember, like, not only did I want to like do comics, I wanted to be a mangaka, like straight up. Unfortunately, even amongst weebs, mangaka has kind of like fallen out of like it's just basically saying like manga artist or like author. But I remember sort of like real big in that like I dodged Mega Tokyo somehow. The only like big the only big like reasonably popular webcomic I ever got into was Order of the Stick. Order of the Stick was the only one I ever really read that had like any amount of fame behind it. No, that's not true. I also did VG Cats, which I think that was like one of the earlier webcomics I saw. I was like, oh shit, a comic about video games, which is really funny in hindsight because that was most of them. But you know, at the time it was novel. Oh yeah, no, I'm not blaming them either. It's just one of those things that, like, every now and then, like, you ever see people do, like, they'll take, especially for, like, real prolific voice actors, they'll just take, like, a line from one thing and put it into another, and it's just really, really funny. Like, you could totally do that with Jeff Goldblum. That would be very amusing. Soup. Yeah, that's really true. Yeah, there was a very like purposely, and I don't mean this in like a bad way, but there was like definitely like a coordinated effort for a while to be like, yeah, let's try to get like kids into like acceptable levels of social issues. Like, you know, you're 8, so like you don't know anything about anything, but the idea of like, hey, little Billy, maybe when you that's weird. Like, hey, little Billy, maybe like when you're out and you got your little can of Coca-Cola back when we thought that was like the elixir of life, and you're going to throw that away, maybe don't chuck that into the ocean because that will make the seal sad. And like, that's kind of like, oh, okay. And then like, you would assume that lesson would have carried on. But maybe it's like one of those things that like, if you just get like preached something too much, you just sort of become just sort of like numb and hateful to it. It's like fuck you whales. I had to watch PSAs about your shit every time I decided to watch Sonic before I could yiff. So now I must throw away all my garbage directly into the ocean, so I know that the salmon, not the salmon, they're freshwater fish. So I know that the sea bass will feel. I was like, my brain was struggling to think of like a saltwater fish, and I was like, what would I use for my mental like Rolodex for what would be like a saltwater fish? And it was Animal Crossing. It was Animal Crossing because yeah, I'm not fishing much in real life, and I'm gonna be honest, fishing in Stardew was fun and very profitable. But every fish was basically like disposable, not thinking about it. I never did do the legendary fish though, which I do have a little bit of regret for not ever doing. Yeah, exactly. Like, listen, we want to keep the eels charged, and if we don't give them our car batteries, they're going to just become eels and not electric eel. How else will we get static shock if we don't throw like car batteries into the ocean? I've watched things. I know Static Shock's background. Yeah, it's eels, right? Yeah. Remember when Static Shock was fighting Rubberman, and then Static Shock was just saying like, "I don't eel so good" after his powers were neutralized? Yeah. So you know, you have to leave the batteries in your local lakes and oceans. That way, Static Shock can go in there and grab one for when he's hungry. Needs to recharge his powers. I did watch Static Shock, and I remember none of his villains. None whatsoever. How you doing, Yuki? Welcome. How you doing? I'm working on Chaos Spawn, because once again, I would like to get this guy in video format, and for that video to ever exist, this model needs to be done. And by this model, I mean 4 separate other models, but like, you know, 4 separate models total. With as well. This is one of those ones I should probably like lean in, like just like a little closer. All those sound right. Like, I remember his sidekick dude who was sort of like a nerdy guy. I think he eventually got like, I forget if his like nerdy sidekick like best friend guy ever got like, I don't think he got proper his own powers. I think he's just like one of those guys that eventually sort of just like, you know, got like enough tech stuff that he could contribute to a team. Horses in history were actually accomplished artists. They drew carriages all the time. Hey, I like that one. I do like that one. Yeah, they did kind of like, that is the thing with a lot of tech guys. They do just kind of end up becoming the same character. I'm sure there's some like actual like in comics instances where that's different, but like a lot of times like when you start reaching that like cartoon level, a lot of like tech genius characters sort of end up like, you know, you get yourself like probably like a cool suit, maybe like a cool gun, and you could probably fly with like a jet booster or whatever. And like, you know, you're Iron Man now. It's fine. What's his name? Backpack? God, I hope not. Backpack is like an incredibly shitty superhero name. I know he was like a dweebus. So like I don't think he was that much of a dweebus. I don't think so anyway. Maybe I could be wrong. Like I said, it's been God. Star Trek was like during that era where like technically I like it's gonna sound weird because of what I do, but I definitely remember like I was like quote unquote like aging out of cartoons at the time. And but like I lived in an area in like the middle of nowhere, and we really didn't get like internet wasn't really a thing, cable wasn't really a thing. We had like a couple channels and that was it. So like the fact that like WB was a channel that I could like, you know, watch meant that I was just watching. It was like weird. So it'd be like cartoons in the morning, and then at night it would be like weird shit like Eliminate. It'd be these like really like skeezy, like I remember like it was like just like a bunch of like really like skeezy dating shows, and like not even like the one where it's like, yeah, my name's Brett, and they're like, oh my god, my name's Jessica, and today we're gonna do like a bikini wrestle match to figure out if we're compatible or whatever, and like that kind of shit. Not like morally against that or anything. It's just that kind of stuff that's just like incredibly just like trashy and low quality. But I was like, well, I've exhausted all my video games because at that point I was the most gamer I would ever be in life. Like, I play a lot of video games now, but video games were my primary form of entertainment till arguably college, really. Like, I was starting to get into D&D in high school, but like, you can't do a lot of D&D in high school because you're sort of busy setting up like your future career and whatnot, or at least college and whatnot. Is Gear? Oh, Gear's better. Oh, Gear's fine. At least it's not Backpack. I would much rather, if I had to choose a superhero name between Gear and Backpack, I'd choose Gear in a fucking instant. I don't fucking... I mean, I'm sure somebody has, like... That's one of those things that if I found out that every episode of Eliminate was lost media now because no one bothered to record it, I would believe that. I would 100% believe that. That's some thick-ass trim on here. Holy shit. Definitely know I'm gonna need to come back and, like, fuck with the trim some more, but that'll be fine. Hey God, thank you for this. Yeah, I've been big sneezy lately. I'm a little worried because someone in the guild came down with COVID, and I think I'm fine. Like, I'm not feeling sick or anything, but it's one of those things that just, like, over the next, like, probably, like, 2 weeks, I'm gonna be like, oh no, oh no, oh no. Is it time? Do I get it again? I've already gotten COVID once, though, so it's like... But it didn't feel significantly different from just a regular cold, which is why I'm, like, always now kind of on edge. Yeah, you may be vulnerable, I know, right? Now that I'm an old man. Please help me up. I'm fallen and I can't get up. My grandkids won't visit me anymore. I ran out of toffee. Oh, please, I don't care about my grandkids, but could you get me toffee? And Werther's Original. Please, just a little bag that if I don't fill with Werther's Original, the demons will get me. I made a bargain that if I kept Werther's Original on my shelf, they would not take me to hell. And I'm running out, but my bones are so tired because it was a Faustian bargain. Please. Dumb bit. Why am I doing this bit of all things? Fuck it, Mahogany Brown. We're doing that for the horns. I do enjoy me a bit that goes on for too long. There is like an inherent, like, goofy little charm to that I do enjoy. How you doing, Shadow? How you doing? Welcome. Oh, boy. Ah. Hold on. A pressurized explosion of paint happens, so I need to touch that up. And mostly stymied. Slightly bigger brush. There we go. Kinda call me old. Oh, real, for real. Yeah. Oh God, I think I watched Flavor Love a little bit too. I don't remember the specific one. I just remember that there was this guy, like, from one of those shows. Like, for the most part, every character in all those shows were sort of interchangeable. It would be like the same, just kind of like, my name's Trevor, and then like the women would just be like someone who was just clearly ready for spring break. But I just remember specifically this one guy who refused to go by like an actual name on these dating shows, and was just like call me the Vanilla Gorilla. He was like maybe like 22 at the oldest, but he was jacked and he was bald as shit. But he just insisted. He just insisted everyone call him the Vanilla Gorilla at all times. It was bizarre. Like even as like my dumb, like I think I was like a dumb middle schooler at that point. Even then I was like, I don't. That's a weird way to live your life, my dude. Like I am still legally a child, and even I think that like you've kind of, like you might need to turn your life around. Like I would love to find out if like I don't know eventually the Vanilla Gorilla, whose real name is like Carl, decide to like like follow his family at the law firm or whatever. Like well, he owned it. He internalized it. Forget if he did anything else like exceptionally white guyish. I don't know. I think he just liked I just think he just liked the alliteration. Yeah. Yeah, he definitely did try to be like a main character. And like I understand in like if you're doing like Flavor of Love, and it's like, Flavor Flav's the main character. That's fine. That's acceptable. How you doing, Lana? We're talking about old syndicated dating shows. That's fine. Flavor Flav is allowed to be the main character. That's his thing. He's fronting whatever, the money or time or whatever. But yeah, every now and then you would get like somebody to like, yeah, no, this is my dating show. Those are, see, I've heard Semen Demon, but never as like a slur. It's usually just like, that's a very sexy anime lady. I guess I don't really hear it too often anymore though. There's that kind of like long line of like anime boner term, or just like kind of like internet boner terms that just kind of like fell by the wayside. How you doing, welcome? Yeah, these are, for people who don't know, these are Chaos Spawn made of recycled orcs and some leftover like Chaos Marines and Death Guard I had kicking around. These are going to be 2 Slanesh ones that are still kind of like earlier on-ish. Then I got 2 Nurgle aligned ones, which I might go in and just do the enamel wash just because that's going to take some time to dry anyway. That might be good to get done early. It feels weird to do an enamel wash at like 30 minutes in, but I think just knowing that that's like the full dry time on that's probably going to be quite a while. That means I might give that a go. Let me get all these horns though. Yeah. Oh, probably would have had a podcast. Yeah. How you doing, Elrin? Welcome. Once again, we're talking about like weird dating show like protagonists and stuff. A protagonist is a strong word. Like people who are like, yeah, I'm on this like trashy dating show, and I wish to know, like I want everyone to know that like it's me. I'm the real guy. I'm the main guy. I'm the lad. But yeah, no, there was that. But yeah, no, I was thinking like, yeah, it was like Semen Demon, and like I vastly prefer the term fapping to like gooning. I don't know. It's just because it was like a singular term and not like a lifestyle ideology. Much way better, yeah. I think it's just because for a lot of these people, they were like dumb early 20s people, and that was like sort of the waning era of being on TV being a big deal. Like technically, in the year of our Lord 2025, being on TV is still a big deal, but like you also could just be like a dumb 13-year-old on TikTok and be probably more famous by just making like videos of you falling down the stairs than anyone who is like on TV for like something like that. But at the time, you're like, I'm dumb, I'm young, I'm going to be on a TV. I gotta make my mark. It's time. I gotta show off. God, I don't know. My brain, for some reasons, vaguely recalls that there's like 20 seasons of like Flavor of Love. Oh, sorry, you said Rock of Love. That I don't know. I like a lot of those shows just kind of went on forever. Like, cause it turns out that true romance from a dating show like that, I would believe that there are dating shows where like, oh god, can you imagine to like mommy, daddy, how did you two meet? Well, see, dearie, Jachariah, and then your son Jeremidas, Jachariah and Jeremidas. There we go. Well, so I met your father on this dating show. He went by the Vanilla Gorilla. When we did the bikini car wash, he said, nice tits. And then we've been together ever since. And you're like, oh, is that why I'm homeschooled? And they're like, yes, yes. How you doing, American Cowboy? I call you American Cowboy for. I think it's just because like cowboy and then America are just like, you know, two classic tastes that taste great together. You say America and then cowboy will be slowly, like shortly close behind. Also, I need to do a tarnish effect on that. Did not do. Oh god, I forgot about Tequila. I wonder what she's up to. There's all these like incredibly like shit celebrities, and I mean shit isn't like, you know. I don't think Tequila is like has like big like merit to remembering her these days, but like I would be curious to figure. I bet she's also on a podcast. I do feel like there's a certain point where if you were ever famous once, you do end up on a podcast. You say, hey, that's congratulations on getting the days off. Hell yeah, hell yeah, hell yeah. Shit, I was gonna see also. No, I'm sure somebody's been together forever. Farmer Sheet, hey, fuck yeah, let's go. This is Flavor of Love. All right, how many seasons of Flavor? There's only 3 seasons of Flavor of Love. No shit. I thought there was more for some reason. Weird. And they're all pretty close together. You know what? Maybe Flavor Flav did find love. Is she in prison? That's one of those things that like I would be willing to believe basically everything. Met at Woodstock. Hey, let's go. Oh shit. There's a little wrinkly little bit over here that I would like to. Oh no, but I already put some paint on my paintbrush, which I think I could just like hit everywhere else on there, and then I should be good. Yeah, I feel like I knew at one point where my adopted parents met, but I don't remember a whole lot. I think it's because at the time, like, my adopted parents split when I was 8, and like I still visited both sides a decent amount, but because of that, like, you know, I sort of grew up the inherent that like, oh yeah, no, like they've been not together about longer than I recall them being together. So there's always that stuff like that I just like never really thought to ask because like, you know, I was a child, like I was just like I don't care. Heard smell on the radio. Oh, that sounds nice. Hell yeah. I do kind of wish I knew. I think getting that information now is like basically like lost knowledge, but yeah. I'm not gonna lose any sleep over it, I guess. A little bit. What a normal life. There we go. I wonder, like part of me feels like I would also not be surprised if at some point she took the same, like, if she took like an OnlyFans trajectory, but I guess by the time OnlyFans came online, like, I also do wonder if a lot of the people that would have been on these shows are now just doing like, you know, like solo cam stuff and whatnot. Or they stay on the radio. You set yourself up for that. You didn't know the pain was coming, but the pain was coming. All right, let me get. Fuck it. I think it's enamel time for T's 2 lap. 9 to didn't. Oh god, yeah. Oh god. No, I knocked over my Mr. Dissolve putty, but luckily I like. Not the worst. I never really did anything with BuzzFeed. My thing of choice that was back in the day was Cracked. I was big on Cracked back in the day. Where until there was say I got out of Cracked even sort of before it became like extra like clickbaity listicle bit. Because I think at the time what was happening is that like I liked a lot of the people there, but they were hitting this weird stage where like I was in college and they kind of all did the thing that like, and like, you know, I'm not somebody that gets upset when like talk about like children and kids and whatnot, but all the like people, like more and more of the main staff kind of got that thing. It's like, well, I became a father. Now I know that's like top 10 things that I see when I look at my little child Jimmy's eyes. I'm like, what the? You were doing movie reviews like 2 weeks ago, my guy. Like, I don't know what to do with this. So we'll do this one first. Yeah. So I remember ducking out, and then they kind of got more and more like clickbaity and soulless, which was a shame because like there was like I've liked Sean Baby over the years, and I always really liked the the guy who wrote John dies at the end. Like, I specifically read his articles first and then got his book later. Because I was just like legitimately like that interested in it. David Wong. There we go. David Wong was the guy's name, or at least his pen name. I don't think that was his like actual name. Enamel wash, baby. Yes. See, this is where the Tamiya putty really kicks in, because you get like, it was looking pretty good before, but like now you get to see the crevices. Yeah, boy, let's fucking go. I'm just using some like AK Interactive Dark Wash, which I have thinned down like an okay amount. Like nothing too crazy. Nothing too crazy. Just gonna go basically all over because this is a thick boy. Let's see. Speaking down the. Oh my god, so your parents met like so you're one of those situations where like the cheesy pickup lines worked. Or like your folks just did the goofy bit that people were like, that shit never works, and then it worked and ended up with like you were born because of a cheesy pickup line. Holy shit. And like that's not to be disparaging. I think that's really fun, actually. That's really fun and sweet. Hell yeah. That is a good one. That is a good one. Well, let's see. Love at first fight. Hell yeah. I mean, you know, there is something to said about a romance where you can throw down with your significant other. It's hard to find that. I have to imagine that like romance between like two like combat sport people must be fucking magical. It's like, fuck yeah, let's go. What's that thing? It's like that, like the fucking like I like a woman who can kick my ass thing from Cowboy Bebop, but also I like to be able to fight back. A lot of people who say that mostly just like, I like a woman who could kick my ass, but then they're like, but I want to be like a demure little ooh bean when that happens. And I'm like, okay, bud. I think I'm just burnt out on the like ooh I'm a little small bottom bean, just kind of like dialogue on the internet. That archetype of person has worn their welcome out for like eons, for far too long. Let's see there. Oh yeah, boy, let's fucking go. Oh, what a dirty. I probably should have get some horns on this guy, but I'm not super worried about it. Could add the horns later. Get like a bunch more wash for the base. Hey, hold on. Is there any like super obvious? Oh, there we go. You know, I need to make sure that like every area that might have like a hole or a missing spot is appropriately covered. Hey, let's go, Nitrous. Let me get a layer of wash on this, and then I'll get that going. I just want to make sure that this doesn't dry weird. Okay, I can get the base after there. I can do that. Let's totally do that. Bring back and wow, there we go. The hammer to know she was interested in me. I mean, hey, I guess it worked then. I guess it worked. Painted Crusader. Hey, yo, let's go. A Kyle Crusader. Let's see, you are sophomore. There we go. Okay, let me find you on there. Nanners is continuing to do good. God, she's super active lately. She's super active. I'm sure, like, I'm enjoying it because I know deep down that eventually I'm going to grab her a rat and she's going to eat it. I'm not going to see her for like 2 weeks. So I'm enjoying the time before this weekend where she will get refed. But yeah, otherwise, Nanners is doing good. And if you do not know Nanners, she's my snake. Build a PC. Yeah, Gary bite my dick. Oh god, yeah. There's like I do think a lot of old crack stuff was really nice. But yeah, Nitrous 07, welcome to the sophomore year of the Official Nanners fan club. And how you doing, Dr. D Snuts? Welcome. Hold on, I need to turn my AC up. I'm melting. It was cold earlier. Now it's warm. I got bright lights on and I got long gloves on. There we go. How you doing? Painting fast. Hey, let's go. How you doing, the Emperor of Mankind? Welcome. Yeah, when I went to on Saturday, like they're one of those stores that like primarily do like card games and board games. But they did have like a little Warhammer section. I was like, do I want to pick up anything here? I keep forgetting how small Vashtor is. Like, I mean, the actual model might be pretty big. I don't know for sure. But the box, Vashtor's box is so much smaller than I think it is. I keep thinking that he's like straight up like the size of Be'lakor. And it's like, nah, he's like, I think more like Demon Prince size, if I'm remembering right. I could be wrong on that, but that seems to be the size I continuously see him at. That to get that just raw wash on the base, because I don't give a shit about details there. Yeah, new Demon Prince size. Yeah, I mean, it seems like a cool model though. I also do like I only have the really old I have like the old plastic Demon Prince, and that turned out fine. But I would like to maybe one day get one of the newer kits because they seem neat. Yeah, he did. Yeah, he does seem like a spindly boy. He definitely does read very, very thin, but that's fair. Go and up the thing. I got this sponge. I remember at one point I got like a big orange like sponge thing, and I think it would be, I saw someone else use that exact same sponge doing some enamel stuff. I was like, oh, that seems really nice, actually. Now we're going to blow dryer the lad. Especially the base, Jesus. I went thick on that bad boy, in like maybe a bad way, but that's fine. That's always the nice thing, is I could always just dry it off and wipe it off a little bit. Good. Honestly, it's like, I feel like I should maybe remove a little bit of the wash, but it's kind of basically perfect, honestly. Like, I might touch it up a little bit with the sponge, but not like a huge amount. Oh, thank you for the hydrate. Let me do that real quick. Yeah, I was thinking about, like, my current plan for the Emperor's Children, because I know you want somewhere between 2 to 3 of them. And I thought it would be cool just to do, like, make them out of, like dreadnoughts. Kind of do them, like, Marigal style. Because I'm doing mine, like, part Emperor's Children-ish, but also, like, mostly word bearers. So I kind of like the idea that, like, they managed to find a couple Margals that were still kicking around from the heresy, and they're not quite like, they're as powerful as the Demon Prince on the battlefield, but they're not like quite as like special. Like, they're just big crazy demon war engines and stuff like that. How you doing, Steve? How you doing? I'm working on the lads because I still have hope in my deluded heart that I can make a video out of them. Yeah, I think doing a little bit of sponge rubbing was a good idea. It does add like a little bit of brightness, which I enjoy. I think I'm also going to, like, so there's like I got some like slimy grime washes, and I also got like maybe like a Coelia green that I might use on this guy as well. So far, so good. The meatballs are looking good. Like, this guy, I mean, I think I wanted to try to do some extra effects and stuff on him, but, like, I could probably just run this, like, as is, and, like, pretty much be totally fine. The only thing I might want to do is a little bit of enamel, squeeze a little bit of that out, and see what happens if I can do, like, a little bit of brightening on the helmets, but I don't think it's going to, A, matter, and B, I might just go back and just, like, sometimes I will just go back and touch it up with, like, a brush. I wish you could have his friend longer. I don't know. I would be curious to find out what level of like 40k influence, if there's any, on any of like the Soulsborne team. I think potentially that would be neat. No, that's a reasonable request. There we go. All right, boy number 1, looking funky fresh. Hell yeah. All right, so we got that's boy number 1. Now boy number 2. Who's got a bit more body to him. There we go. How much of this? Oh, I still got plenty. I was a little... Yeah, oh yeah, right now, like, the thing I like about these is they dry matte. He will absolutely get stickier later. There I will absolutely make him stickier later. So don't you worry. The plan eventually will be to do a wash that has a bit of a satin finish on him. Getting a little bit more of the mixture. I'm doing a little bit off screen. I use these little metal mixing trays, which I like because they're just good for like mixing, but they're really bad for doxing, so I have to keep them off screen a bit. Yes. Ooh, that's nice. Oh, here's the thing though. Like, if your LGS is cool, you might just be like, hey, I can't make it down today because it's late. Could you put that on reserve for me? Like, I'll just be like, tomorrow or whenever this weekend, I will definitely buy it. Could you please hold on to it for a little bit? I've seen plenty of stores that do that. They'll just have like stock waiting for a person to come in. Like, I might be presumptuous. I don't know what level of relationship you have with your LGS. And like, you know, if you need to go pick it up, go pick it up. Oh, it's just a hobby town. You might still be able to get it held on. I'm gonna be real. I would just call them real quick and be like, yo, I saw you had this. Can you hold that for tomorrow? Like I like Gurren from Gios and everything, but like I feel like that's probably not flying off the shelf. Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, you're one of those positions because like people need certain jobs to be available during the weekend. You get like the funky like hard working man's like weekend during the week. Oh, that's totally fair. That's totally fair. Get the various like lumpy textury bits. Oh, it's your first time? Oh, gotcha. Oh, yeah, you know, still cool. Okay, I went a little darker on that one. That's also fine. Everything's fine if I say this is fine as I fuck it up. That's a relatively common occurrence when I'm doing mini painting. I'm like, this is fine as I'm like actively messing something up. And it ends up fine, so it's not the worst. It's just that I cope really hard when I work on shit. Stock in like a year, so I've been looking. I mean, oh, that's true. I guess if it's that out of stock most of the time, you know, you know what you must do. You know what you must do for expensive plastic, and I would not judge you. Follow your heart. Can you really Spawn? Not really. There's other models. There's like other models I've used wash on that was like too thick, or like I'm like, I'm just gonna hit up this area real quick with like something light, and I'll just go too heavy. I've messed up things before. Once again, it's that usual mindset of like minis are hard to fuck up permanently. So like, you know, do what you gotta do when you're working on shit. Because like a lot of times things can be fixed and it's not like a big deal. There we go. And the bases I'm eventually going to do, because this is so shiny, but it's going to dry matte. I'm going to do probably a layer of like gloss varnish on the kind of like sewery, swampy bits. That's more or less the plan for this, because I want him to look like he's standing in like shiny sewer muck. I think between the greens and like the kind of dark brown for the enamel. God, why am I hiccuping so much today? Why it like this? Why life like this? Why doth life? I think we got like a little bit more in that. This guy's like, the problem with this method is that sometimes it does create a hole that is like very hard for a brush to reach into. It's not the worst, and usually that means if you can sneak some wash in there. If you can sneak some wash in there, you'll be fine. I think this is gonna be the last of this, so at least for now. I'm hoping that the other two, well, knocked over some shit. I'm hoping the other two lads will be ready to do today. And considering I've only been doing this for like an hour. Oh my god, it's an hour already? How? It should still be fine, I say. There we go. Lincoln takes a transmission for a swap. Ah, there we go. Car questions. I know nothing. Like, I've done like really basic car shit, but like changing out like my lights and whatnot. But like if it gets more than that, I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna go to the mechanic. Yes, good. Excellent. All right, now I can start doing a little bit of a. Oh yeah, there. Oh, especially in that skeleton. There we go. You guys can't see the skeleton because it's getting covered. Skeletons especially seem to be benefiting really from this like last little sponge. I've been really enjoying these sponges because like I've been afraid that like using the sponges like this would lead to like some kind of like polluting back into it. These things just kind of just absorb paint and they just don't really let it out. Like I'm sure if I wanted to, I could take this motherfucker to like a sink and just like really rinse out that shit. And I just might. Like that might not be like the worstest idea. But I have more. And I'm getting less like hideous little microfibers everywhere. Real fucking. Oh yeah, did the back? Yeah, the back skeletons also turned up. Skelt happen. Oh no, that's a mood. That's a mood. Last big thing I had to do is replace all my tires, but otherwise the Elfmobile's been doing pretty decent as of late, which is good to hear because I like it when things in my life are not expensive. Also getting a little like adding a little bit of a shell. Also, there's like a couple of areas that like I definitely like recycled this out of bits that like I thought I removed a lot of the like I thought I removed a decent amount of yield like mold lines and whatnot, but definitely more and more I'm working on this, the more I'm like, oh yeah, no, there's a couple on there. I still don't think at like enough degree that I'm gonna be like, oh god, this model's ruined, but annoying. So really just like basically just kind of almost dry brushing it with a sponge. Really fun technique for people. Like, mind you, you need to get like mineral spirits and like some other supplies, but I do think enamel washes and probably oil washes were fun, but I just haven't done them enough. These are really fun techniques. These are really like fun techniques to do. I'm a big fan, as you all know. Then I believe we got this lead done. Now do I want to experiment with the green? Do I want to go a little green on this? Because the other one has like a red. Because I know how to do like the coeli, like the red tinge on these. But I don't think I've ever like used the green properly. I get green. It's not easy to be green. I think previously it's because I used it wrong as well. So I'm gonna try to do it a little better. So definitely got the Coelia green from Villainy Inc. I'm gonna shake it like a motherfucker. Gonna get me a little mixing tray. So hide that mixing. Covered and stuff. I've been working on like goofy little small, like I've been trying to make, I've been taking older stuff that I just have, just like things like, I picked up this Primaris Marine for cheap, and I've been mixing him with Bestiarm Daemonette parts to make a Possessed. I've been really enjoying the idea of like Chaos Possessed becoming like where how I recycle older minis. It's just a fun way to do things, you know? Car's been engineless waiting on a cat for like, oh, that sounds like the worst. Like, what do you do if your car's just held up like that? Like, you just can't really, like, I guess it depends on where you live, though. I don't know. I live in an area that if I do not have car access, yeah, I guess you do have rent. God, rental cars are so expensive. There was like a 2-week period when my car got hit and I got like T-boned and it was just ruined. And I distinctly remember having to get like a rental car, and that shit sucked. It was so expensive. It was so expensive, and it feels weird to be in a car. And it's like, well, if this one breaks, you're going to be like extra double like screwed financially. I was just like kind of just perpetually living in like a state of fear. All right, so I'm gonna try this Coelia. Oh, my camera froze. Okay, perfect. Okay. I'm glad I decided to screw the cap on because I just knocked it over. Oh my god, I'm amazed that I have yet to what's it called? I have yet to spill enamel paints. I have yet to spill enamels. Thank God. Okay. I'm gonna try like this. Previously, I did this with the, like, what's it called? I did this with the flesh paint, and I'm gonna try the... So far, this green is looking pretty good. I shook it up nice, and I think I learned... Last time I tried to use it more like a wash, and this is more like... You kind of just, like, poke it in. Some areas you kind of get it lighter. Just everywhere that's, like, a fleshy bit. And it kind of will mix a little bit as well. Bit around the feet and everything. Hey, let's go. A week after my... Oh god, yeah. I unfortunately at the time I did not have anyone I could bum rides for, which made that extra suck. I will say, like, the green is definitely giving it like a different feel. Like we're moving away from sort of the kind of like yellowish to more like cooler tones, but I think it's doing work though. I do like our man. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Varnish your stands of minis. Hey, let's go, let's go. Yeah, biking would be fine. I definitely just, like, I've always lived my life in areas that, like, biking is not super friendly, to the point that I have kind of grown, like, a little annoyed with the concept of bikers. I shouldn't, though, because I know objectively that, like, biking's, like, you know, it's healthy for you and good for the environment and whatnot. But it's just, you'll just see, like, somebody just like, well, fuck you. I'm gonna make a horrible turn. And just, like, the rage is planted. The rage is planted. Oh god, okay, Godspeed then. Definitely be careful. Definitely be careful. Definitely be careful. There. And that, get up in that gooch. I debate how much is so I want to put on the other stuff. Let's drive. Oh, how you doing, Soneless Bee? Oh god, that sounds fucking awful. Wait, was there an ant? I live in an area where there's like every now and then like a little gnat or something too. Oh god, why? Like, here's the thing. Like, sometimes I get annoyed with bikers, but like I'll never actually like take it out on them. I have the speaker in a basket. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why people like that. In there. This is, I think we got everything. So now do I do a little bit of an early dry. Focus on my stomach. Sometimes it's like that, yo. It's just the sort of irrational nature of just living. It's weird existing. I just do kind of just do like a little bit. I think I need to hit this everywhere, but like I think it's kind of like on like big raised areas. I can just kind of rub a lot of that away, and it looks pretty good. Because like I think the more I rub in certain areas, the more I'm definitely going to need to get like a second sponge though. Oh, I do like this. Oh, it's adding like a very light sheen. And by rubbing it, I'm keeping like a little bit of the green. But it's bringing more of the yellow back. Yeah, definitely got to get another sponge. This one is getting extremely dirty now. I love how squishy it is, though. Sponges are squishy as shit. Hey, let's go. Yeah, we got that sheen. Yeah, once again, I'm definitely one of those people that, like, when people like, Hal, your thing is making me ill, I'm like, thank you. It's just that very fun sort of like nerdily like compliment where it's like I'm trying to make this disgusting as possible, so when I get that reaction, I get really happy. Hey, let's go. I'm glad it worked out. Hell yeah. That's also how you know you got like a real one for a hobby store. That's not just a hobby town. That is a real one. TM real one. All rights reserved. This guy I'm gonna leave alone. I'm gonna grab another sponge real quick. Hold on. That one I said, oh god, yeah, no, my fingies. You know, I bought like a... like maybe like 3 years ago, like all these, and have so many of them now. I can just use them all the time. All right, let's get the other one too. Let's get the other one too. Yeah, I had a Gurren figure. It's been a while since I watched. Yes, Gurren is Colin's mech, right? The red one with the big claw. I know I had the model kit for that one ages ago, but like at some point it got like broken or fell apart or was like lost a piece in a move. And I think I had to get rid of it for some reason. I don't remember why. It was not like a super nice one. It was definitely like the high grade equivalent of like a Gundam one, but it was a shame because it was a neat model. I think I might still have the itty bitty Colin somewhere though. I love it every now and then you'll get like a Gundam or an Ava unit that will just straight up have like a weird baby rubbery version of the pilot. Those are always neat. Those are always neat. Hey, let's go. It's a fun kit, but I think mine definitely just got broken during a move. So like I'm sure yours will be fine though. As long as you just like kind of like be careful. Learn from me. Do not repeat my mistakes. Protect your Kowlin. But yeah. Plumbo kits are fun though. Plumbo kits are fun, I mean, and just in general. I haven't no, that's not true. I was like, oh, I haven't built a plastic kit in a while, but I built the horse. I built the horse on stream, the Tekai Teo. Like not that long ago, actually. I get maybe it's just because my brain doesn't register it because she is not a dedicated, like, you know, she's not a robot. She a haunts, yeah. It was still a fun kit though. It was still a fun kit. But yeah, maybe I gotta do a proper mecha on stream one of these days. That might be fun. Maybe one day finally just decide just to finally build my master grade Epion on stream. The problem is I think a master grade kit would take like 3 streams. As well. It really is, Lon. It really is. I love it when people are like, oh, that's like, that's disgusting. I think someone was like straight up like said, one of your models makes me want to throw up. And I was like, oh, really? Thank you. It's just so backwards and fun. Like whenever I see someone like, it's very funny because like, I know, like I'll see people do like really, really good looking, like a heavy metal paint styles. And I just look at my shit. I'm like, man, I could never do that. I don't want to ever do that. That does not appeal to me. It does not spark joy. And like I could be like, yeah, no, that's a good painted model. I would never want to do anything like that though. Gianni man, oh, that's a good setup. That's always the thing. Oh yeah, whenever you're moving or whatever, you just don't have all your supplies. No, that's just the worst. Little bit of blow drying. Oh fuck, we got an ad break. Well, that's I mean, ad break during the blow drying stage is not like the worst. We got a bit more green on the skeleton, which again I can just the cling sponge removed a lot more of the skeleton, but like actually like in a cool way. I guess the power of the cling sponge is going to definitely like absorb a lot more than the other ones. Maybe it'll actually remove some from my fingers. There we go. We're back. Let's go. How you doing, Goroth? Welcome. Yeah, it kind of, I mean, the fact that a lot of heavy metals requires like painting like really thin lines, which is why like sometimes you'll see people like new people trying to do that style, and it's like they're at that stage where painting a thin line is just kind of difficult, especially when you're doing it for all the trim. But the thing is, heavy metal makes sense for gameplay because from the distance that style looks pretty good because like, you know, it accentuates the lights and the darks, and like it kind of means that from like a distance, the model does become more readable. I do like my gross models. I will admit, from a distance, sometimes they do look like markedly similar. Like they do just kind of look like a blob of just darkness and sadness and meat, which I still enjoy. But some other people, they're like, well, I want a little bit more definition. I want a little bit more like clear contrastness. I mean, it's probably, if you've ever done like Warhammer minis or just anything else, they know the crossover market for those two might as well just be like maybe like a slightly weird looking circle. Yeah, there we go. I've been holding off from trying to get any new Plamo kits besides the Tokai. Just because I like, once again, my regular mini projects already like take up so much of my time. I want to make sure the lads get the attention they deserve, especially on these like bigger projects. Oh god, this is the dark enamel didn't really do much, but this apparently stains like a monster on this, or just or the sponge is just like really, really potent at this stage. Like it's actively just turning into a green wedge. I will say, once again, I'm no longer getting little bits of, like, what's it called? I'm no longer getting little bits of, like, not fur, like the cotton swab tip on here, which is good. Discourage as much possible. I mean, that could be it. I mean, it could also be, like, it is really easy just to be like, yeah, go here, buy this color, highlight on this edge. Like, easy for an instruction. Like, actually doing is kind of, like, whatever, but, like, as an instruction, it's, like, relatively clear. Oh, fuck yeah, let's go. All right, I'm gonna let him down. I think we're good with enamels for a bit. Oh god, Lana, how much did that cost you? There's no way that wasn't like $150 to $200. It wasn't like a bad thing, but like, you know, expensive. How you doing, Daddy Trash Toes? How you doing? How you doing? Doing some enamel paints on the lads because that's what I like to do. I'm gonna move that. And let's see, what's it? I missed that message. Let's see, American Great Value Brands frozen shrimp has been connected. Ah, they're giving radioactive shrimp powers. Isn't radioactive shrimp powers just like an awful posture? Don't you just go like and just kind of just break in there? Thank you for the hydrate though. All right, so those two, like, this guy's not done yet, but I need to just let him dry basically further for at least like another hour. I want to do some like rust effects on like the various metals and then paint the rim black and then do some gloss varnish. Maybe some other like touch up, like maybe like a gloss varnish with like a little bit of, what is it? Maybe like gloss varnish with some like contrast paint yellow just to make like a weird dirty slime, whatever. Hell yeah, those are turned out great. All right, let's go back to the Slanesh ones, which are way more of a pain. Fuck me, I guess. All right. These lads now. I have so much gold trim to paint. Why did I do this to myself? Why did I think this was a good idea? All right. One thing I might want to do, get my various paint stuff set up back up. I mean, to be fair, shrimp powers are not the worst. Like, especially because that also includes pistol shrimp. Like, pistol shrimp powers would fuck incredibly hard. Like what? You got shrimp powers. What's your power? Punching so hard you boil water. Like, that's really bitchin'. That's a bitchin' power. Like, no one's gonna give you shit if you are like one punch shrimp man. And yeah, you get extra colors too. Like, it's shrimp powers really kind of fuck. They're really good. I mean, I assume if you had the powers, you would also get like the equivalent, like, you know, immunities. Like, it'd be real dumb if, like, you know, like Superman could fly, but then also he just couldn't withstand like the G-forces of flying or whatever. And at that point, it's like, what's the point? What are we doing here? What are we doing here? Ability to shit through a screen door? Hell yeah. I mean, technically, don't we all have that ability, I guess? I guess the power is less the ability and more just like the lack of inhibition. You're like, fuck it. I'm gonna do it. I don't care anymore. That door, it's getting shat. That might be it. Go get all the various gold trim bits. I also gotta get, like, I forget what color I used for the flesh. I think I know, but I'm not 100%. That is very ironic that it cost 151, but like, still brutal financially. Still incredibly brutal financially, but hey, that's at least you're like working on a collection too, so that's not too bad, I guess. Oh yeah, that's just what happens when you buy shrimp from Walmart. Yeah, you know, you get the unfortunate shrimp powers. You gotta buy. I was about to say shrimp from Target as a joke, but I feel like Target shrimp would be Would it be better or worse than Walmart shrimp? I don't know. I guess Target shrimp is just Walmart shrimp, but you feel more smug about it. Like that just might be it. Got like your teeth is gold. Giving you gold teeth, my guy. Gold teeth. The inside of there just needs to be fleshy. Got a lumpy bit of gold back here that needs to be done. There we go. There we go. There we go. Tastes like delicious with cocktail sauce. I mean, don't all people? Is this my mimic acting up, or like I feel like cocktail sauce would make anyone delicious, shrimp or not. Yeah, I'll definitely need to like touch up the pink a lot on basically like every part. That just needs a bit more flesh. This one's good. Leg trim. At the point that I just say no. Okay, we're gonna have to get in there. Smell the wonderful or foul. I'm just thinking the guy behind Turret 28, his he was like traveling and his apartment apparently got like severe water damage and the power shut off. And apparently he had a bunch of shrimp like in the freezer. So like his house apparently reeked of like death and shrimp. And I'm just like, oh wow, that sounds like a horrible combo. How you doing, Tech? How you doing? Yeah, I'm working on some Chaos Spawn lads that I was working on previously. I guess the other option I could do is I could just look at like what angle people will actually see on this guy. Just kind of write everything off as just like generic flesh or whatever. He's gonna fit into it like this. And just kind of look at like, okay, like that. This little nubbin, other bullshit will be good. There we go, there we go, there we go. After you for the jambalayas. Ooh. I haven't had like a proper jambalaya in many years. Sounds great. Excellent. Yeah, we got my goop and bust. And today, like, so like I'm so used to hearing a lot of like the Neil Cicierega like covers of various bullshit that I heard that the actual song, that the one that's like you're just like an ocean, something move, like it's like give me your heart and make it real or just forget about it. Like I heard like legitimately someone today that I knew was just listening to the regular version of that song, and I was like, man, I said this out loud because I'm a moron. I was like, man, it's been forever since I heard like the actual version of the song. And they're like, what are you talking about? Because the idea that there's a not actual version of that song is just fucking insane. So I was like, well, okay. And then I had to show them the Neil Cicierega cover. And like I sent it to them later. They're like, Hal, what was that thing you were talking about earlier? And I sent it to them. And then they continued the conversation as if I didn't. So I'm like, well, okie dokie. Bustin'. This is why I keep my power level low, so I cannot be hurt. Oh, I do too. I mickrolled someone like a couple months ago, and it's the best. People are prepared for rickroll. No one's prepared for mickroll. Like mickrolling is in its prime. Like I mean, like, you know, it'll never be like as community driven as it was previously. But now you can mickroll someone, and there's nothing they can do to prepare for it. It's great. It's free real estate. So good. It's so good. Maybe a little bit on there, and then also like. So I'm still like 50-50 of just like painting this super rough and then just going back with the pink. I think I'm basically just kind of doing a version of that anyway, though, so whatever. These guys got, oh yeah, these guys got like little teeth in various areas I'm going to have to do something with. Do a little bit of gold. Make it look like, I think that's like an arm bit, but I think right now it's reading more like a hoof, so I'll just do a little bit of gold at the bottom just so like at one point people know that this was a hoof. stream. No, I could never do that. I still now have like multiple people from my local game group that are aware of me streaming, and without me directly advertising it, and it's fine. It's fine. And like they're all nice about it. Like no, like none of them are like, oh gross. I was playing tabletop war games with a VTuber. Blah 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 blah. But it is just very funny. They're like, oh yeah, I saw you work on that model on stream. And I was like, pain. No, they're nice though. It is fun when they show up too. Everybody has been very courteous, and no one's doing any doxing snafus or anything. Yeah, I guess if you don't buy G-Dub's models, buying a new copy of Pokemon for the Game Boy is not that expensive. I say lying, I guess. I don't know. VTuber derogatory. I mean, that is one of those things. It's like, you know, VTubing is like probably. I would not say it's mainstream, but it's been like quote unquote like normalized a bit. Like it's just it moved out of its fad stage into like this is just a thing now. And I still don't think it really breached mainstreamness, which is fine for me actually. This brush is starting to like the bristles are starting to break up weird, which is a little fucky, but whatever. So like it's not the hardest thing to explain a VTuber to people who are like, you know, I would not explain that to like people that I work with through the guild, because even though the guild sends me to work with like humans my age on things, they don't have any like the closest I get is somebody who is just like, yeah, I play like Baldur's Gate 3 with my bros every now and then. I'm like, oh cool, okay. That's still cool. That's great. That's not enough background context to even begin to explain anything. I don't think it's for me. I don't think it's an uncultured. I think it's just that like I am I am so living in a different culture than they are that it's just very hard. We don't have really a lot of baseline connections. Where it's like they just didn't grow up on the internet like I did. They just don't have any like real connection to like anime other than like a Studio Ghibli movie. How you doing, Mantis? How you doing? Oh god. The shark went out to the ball game. Oh, that I do find that funny that like baseball people had basically adopted Guro because she helped win them a game. Like that kind of like sports there's that like inherent sports like, well, she helped us win a game, so she's a good luck charm now. Yeehaw, let's go. Ballin'. I'm gonna be like, I don't, what's it called? There was a song that used the exact same beat about ballin', but it's about someone going to the Burger King and trying to order a Whopper without cheese because otherwise they'd get the shits. To the point when like I just thought that was just like a joke song someone put together. And then eventually I heard Ballin', and I was like, what the fuck? Ballin's a real song? Like a song with lyrics and things? That threw me off. I was like, what the fuck is this? What the fuck is this nonsense? Right, so I guess now the plan is to go and the plan is just to go and repaint the skin. What color? Oh, I use this color. There we go. Yeah, let's see. Named after nearly getting run over by a train. Is that what it's fucking called? Is that why you're called the Dodgers? I don't know shit about sports. That was really fun though. Yeah, I don't like. The thing is, I understand conceptually ideas of sports. Like, I was when the guild made me go to like a big like full day retreat thingy, and that we ended the thing I was invited to at a bar or whatever. They had soccer on, and I was like, okay. I don't really know anything about soccer or whatever, or like any of the teams, but the whole time I was watching, I was like, I can kind of get it. I can tell, like, seeing the people in the crowds are like, yeah, this is my team. We're doing team things. Hell yeah. Like, I get it. Conceptually, I get it. But I just don't think that would ever be the lane I decide to, like, put my interest in. Oh yeah, darts is fun though. Darts is neat. I don't know. I've just never been much of a sportsman, though. The more I say that, the more I sound like an asshole. But it's true. It is true. Use my boarhead brush. I usually use this for like dry brushing, but I think this might just be like a good slightly thicker brush that I can use just to kind of reapply some flesh color to a bunch of shit. This is the one color that like the flesh tone needed to be. Oh god, there's so many crevices in this guy's too. On the horizon, yeah, no, it fucking sucks. It really does. Every time, like every now and then, the guild is just like, "Hal, you're the only one that knows how humans work." I'm like, "I guess." They're like, "Okay, you got to go over here, join this thing." Okay. Oh yeah, no, this is Almentis. This is all Neil Cicierega like mouth albums. They're so good. I put on basically his collection's really nice for a painting stream because it's almost. Also, Adam, thank you for the sub on YouTube. Thank you. Yeah, working on some Chaos Spawn right now, and it's going relatively tight. But like all of his stuff is like a perfect like maybe like 3.5 hours. It's just the right length just to get through everything, and all of them are good. They're so good. It's like we got classics. I still think Crocodile Chop's my favorite. Limp Wicket's also really good because at some point I like psyoped myself into liking Ewoks. It's very funny how that happened. It just happened one day that I'm just like, Ewoks are fun. I'm not like treat them seriously because they're Ewoks. But like I see them now, I'm like, oh, look at those little guys. Look at these teddy bear fucks. And I watched the 2 Ewok movies, and I never watched a cartoon though. The Ewok cartoons I've not watched, but the movies were like, I watched both of them during movie night, and they were like less bad than I was expecting. They're wild. They're wild in that the second Ewok movie openly starts with the death of a child, and now you're going to be like, how? But Star Wars Episode 3, the younglings, sure. A, this is significantly before the prequel trilogy. And B, like, Return of the Jedi was, like, not... Revenge of the Sith, I mean, was not marketed as, like, a kid's movie. It didn't have good old, like, Diabetes himself in there as just, like, a guy. And the main character is just a little girl that hangs around with an Ewok all day. Which is just bold. From what I understand, I don't think it's competitive. It's like one of those like weird gimmick builds that can sometimes squeeze out a win. Every time I look Ewoks, fucker. Every time I look up the Star Wars Legion game, maybe they're better at Shatterpoint to be fair, but in Legion, every time I check it out, it's always like the Empire is doing the best. Like it's usually some build of the Empire that is currently like doing good, and this is like over like multiple seasons of that game existing. Yeah, maybe for Shatterpoint, maybe that would actually be way easier for me to get Ewoks if I want to get into that. Shatterpoint seems neat. I just don't have a huge. For me these days, it's harder to get me to get into war games that are not like making my own dudes, because for me, making my own dudes is kind of like the fun part of minis. So like it's hard to make my own dudes when a list requires Han Solo. So it's like, okay, could I make my dudes who hang out with Han Solo? Sure, but like. Part of my brain knows it's like they don't matter. Like that's not the point. And like I know like my guys in the grand scheme of like 40k or turnip don't matter. But like the stories are about them at the end of the day, and they matter in the scope of their own things. If I decide to like play like Star Wars Legion, and I make all my cool rebel dudes, they like I kit bash them. I'm like, yeah, no, these guys have been like deep undercover fighting in like an imperial like. Kind of like jungle world, and they got like extra camo, and there's like a native species of alien there that was already sapient, but the Empire was like putting them to the mines, so the rebels busted them out and gave them guns to help like earn their own independence. You're like, yeah, fuck yeah, let's go. But they're still Han Solo. And then as soon as Han Solo enters the picture, it's Han Solo and the Chuckle Fucks of the week decide to fight off Darth Vader and the Empire as they're doing spooky experiments on Jungle Fuck 5. And you're like, oh god, I don't like that. And that's even why, like, for like 40k stuff, whenever there's like a named character, I just decide to go in and like use their stats, but I just make them my own. Like I am not going to ever paint like a full Lucius the Eternal. I have Lucius's body. I will definitely make it into its own model, but I will never run Lucius the Eternal because I just don't give a shit. I just don't get, especially about Lucius in particular. Lucius, I find annoying as because he's one of those like puzzles for nerds. but the nerds will never realize that, like, because like they give him rules. They give Lucius rules of like, yeah, like if someone feels pride when they kill him, he'll come back, and like, you know, that's fun because nerds love puzzles, but also he's just gonna always come back. He's a champion of a chaos god. In like one of the main cult legions. He's always coming back, my dudes. No, like a fucking like Necron's warrior can't kill him. It doesn't matter. None of this matters. But it's really fun to be like, what if I like buried a missile and then I died and then eventually he stepped over it. Now the missile wasn't made to be exploded, but I had a friend of mine who was like a blind servitor put like a bomb trigger on there. Doesn't fucking matter. Your soul's ending up in the armor. It doesn't matter. It's Slaanesh. Who gives a shit? It's bullshit. Yeah. I'm not. Yeah, exactly. Whenever it's like, and I understand that there's some chapters and stuff that, like, you know, if you're playing Space Wolves, you're probably doing it because you like Space Wolves and you're going to. Fuck. Actually, just paint that pauldron entirely flesh colored. Who gives a shit? That's how you doing, K-Map. Thank you for the head pat. Thank you. I'm ranting about war games. But yeah, like I think Trench Crusade, they're talking about like making named characters for like the Carcass Front, and I'm hoping if they're smart, the named character is just going to be like this is like a pre-made where it's like, yeah, you can build this character at home, but functionally, like, you know, there'd be no stronger or weaker than like a regular character, because I like the fact that there's no named characters in Trench Crusade. It's super cool. I love it. I actually really liked in Warhammer 3rd Edition. There are named characters, but they're like a big special thing. So it's like, do you want to run Lucius the Eternal in Chaos 3.5? Yeah? Well, first you have to let your opponent know. And that's going to be the only one. There's not going to be more. That's it. That's just him. I'm like, that's nice. He seals ass in a sword. I mean, once again, like you could be like, yeah, well, Trazen could deal with them. Or like, yeah, sure, but like, you know, it's not happening. It's not happening. Oh god, some of these holes are just. I just get a brush in there. Just gotta go real Slaanesh with it and just go digging. I do think I'm getting like most of this. Angle, check in, get some. I like how the lump here is straight up a what's it called? This was straight up a foot that has been retextured. Yeah, I mean, kinda. So, like, at least in the 3.5 Chaos Codex, they're like, okay, you have to be running Emperor's Children to even run Lucius. Or you have to be running Black Legion to run Abaddon. Stuff like that. And, like, you know, those have their own restrictions or whatever. And then you have to let your opponent know, and it has to be a certain point size. So, like, Lucius can't show up unless you're doing at least a 1,500 point game, which is pretty standard. I think Abaddon requires 2,000, which is, like, a bit bigger at the time. At the time, 2,000 was less like the default, more like a kind of expanded amount. Yeah, no, I just can't reach it. It's like I got like a real shitty brush on me. Yeah, actually. But yeah, it's I vastly prefer not using named characters. Yes, this is actually the song I sent to the other guy today when I was trying to explain what Neil, like, what the original version of this, like, what I meant by the remix of the song he was listening to. This is a old ass. I think this is, I saw like Army Painter had like a Kalinsky brush, and it was like it's significantly more jank than you would expect. We're kind of at that point then in my experience that seeing something labeled like Kalinsky Sable doesn't really matter for quality anymore. There was a point when that was true, when Kalinsky Sable meant that this brush was going to be like top class. That's also like during the era where like Winsor and Newton was sort of always like the best in show. I don't think that's really necessarily true anymore. Like I've had a couple brushes from them that were just kind of like meh. I think Artist Opus is like the main brand now, but I also don't know how much of that's just like, you know, A, how much of that's just like nerd advertising, and B, how much of that is like, you know, maybe we just don't know the best brand because it is for like model train people or whatever. We're just not aware. It really is, yeah. I've had some like real stinkers that like a couple paint jobs in, just like I was keeping good care of them, but like their bristles would begin to fray like really early. And like, if I have like a $10 brush or like a $5 brush, especially that frays early, that's fine. If I'm paying like $20, I want my brush to last, you know? I think that's a fair trade. And it's all good, Vulcan. Have yourself a good night and take it easy. I'm gonna continue just to wedge this paint into the manifold folds on this guy. But yeah, I wonder if the quality controls why I just don't see Winsor and Newton sort of like, because I was like for a while it's been be like, well, get like an army painter, like a good just kind of like whatever brush, or even just like, you know, just like a brush from Michaels, but just take good care of it. And then if you want to upgrade to something cool, get yourself a Winsor and Newton. And then now I don't even think that's necessarily true anymore. Now it's just kind of like, well, there's like a couple different brands. Who knows if they're going to be necessarily good. I still really like the Redgrass Games brushes I've got a while back though. Even though the ones I have, I cut the bristles off because I was an idiot at the time. I still find that they hold up pretty well. Still need to do the pink, but part of me wants to do the dry brush on them, guys. How you doing, Sally? Yeah, these are the... I was working on them last week a little bit, but these are Chaos Spawn made out of orc bits and some, like... These are effectively an attempt to see if I could recycle old minis I do not care for anymore into Chaos Spawn. So I made 2 Slanesh ones and I made 2 Nurgle ones because in theory, I think Death Guard can still run Chaos Spawn. It could at one point. I don't know anymore. The big thing that's cool is that the Lost in the Dam list that I'm kind of putting together, you can run a unit of 5 Chaos Spawn as a heavy support squad. All right, just like a heavy squad guy, whatever. So I'm like, ooh. I already have 2 that were like the original model kit ones that I've just had for forever. So I was like, okay, I could just take these now then, and I could run them for that, which is rad. Which is neat. 30 was now they're just average. Oh, that's unfortunate. Yeah. Yeah, that's always the thing too, is like companies will just like change hands and change providers and everything. It's just hard to figure out like what is what anymore. Hey, it's all good, Lotta. It's all good. I'm just painting ball significantly more ballin'. There. These guys have so many fucking folds. So many folds. It's kind of nice too because I can be a little reckless with this because like, yeah, it's going to be like bleed over flesh color. So like, who gives a shit? Get in the. If you guys thought regular Gooch was bad, look at that Gooch. That Gooch has like a tunnel in it. This is a cavernous Gooch. Which is a sentence that's very fun for me to say. So, you know, I have to take the opportunity to say that. Oh, a Gunch. No, a Gench. A Gooch Trench. A Gench. A Genshin Impact. At the initials, the person. Oh, that's real. Yeah, God, yeah. So, someone like getting like those kind of like. I do miss the era of like you buy a thing and it lasts forever. That was a thing growing up, but then like by the time I had the money to afford a lot of those kind of things, that doesn't really exist much anymore. When you would just like have like the family spoon and you're like how long have we had the spoon? Well, you see, your grandmother died in '87 before you were even born, and that's her spoon. She got it in the war because when your great grandpa went to fight the Krauts, he came back with a spoon, and we never questioned him. So we just continue to make just stews with it. Why not? I mean, Gucci. I already made like a dumb joke, but then I don't like. I think I just don't like the word Gucci. I just don't think I like that. not feeling that. Oh. Mostly just because I overpainted, and this is a good way to correct real quickly. I could have also just painted over a lot of the legs as well if I really felt like it. I guess I could do that, like, there's like right here, there's like that little like cavernous mouth thing. I'm eventually going to need to paint some teeth and whatnot. Face. So many angles. Yeah, it's fun. It's fun. It's fun to say stuff like that. It's fun every now and then as a treat. It's like it's not like a real like I mean like at the time it was like a World War I thing, but like now like who gives a shit. But yeah. That's like that just kind of just like generational, like this is an item made to last. And now but I think straight up there's been companies over the years that made like one product that was really good, and they just like, you know, you would buy it and never buy anything else from them, and they just fucking die, which sucks that that's just kind of how that works, and I hate it. But like, alas, I am forced to participate in this society. Look at all the angles and whatnot. They have... Nope, there we go. I'm fully willing to believe with these ones that like I'm gonna find just like hidden deep caverns that I will just never be aware of. That's why I'm trying to like rotate it around a lot just to get like up in there. Happen to Instapot. Oh god, you're right. I'm thinking about it now, and I do own an Instapot, like a name brand Instapot. I have not bought anything else from them. Oh shit, I didn't even think about that. Damn. It's not like I'll never need another Instapot. I mean, theoretically, there could be a reason to get another Instapot. Oh, Cookie? What the fuck is Cookie? Okay. I don't like that. I don't like the way it's phrased like that, but like, sure, what is it? I don't know. It's also realized that this guy's horn just didn't get painted, I guess, or just probably rubbed off or anything, something like that. Cookie, that doesn't clarify. I still don't know what that is. It's better than Cookie, I will give you that, but I do not know. Got a little bit of his horn stuff. Gooch. Oh, I would have never made that connection. I'm gonna be real. All right, what do we want to do while that guy's drying? Oh god. Oh yeah, I know what I'll work on. Make something real quick. This is a Trench Crusade model. Yippee! This guy has been like reasonably close to being done. I think he needs like a little bit of touch up on his robes, and I also need just to paint the dirt properly everywhere on his base. So we'll go and do that real quick. What color brown do I want? Let's try dark flesh for like a brown. No, it's kind of too. Yeah, we could do charred brown again. Yeah, a little bit of. Oh, thank you for the hydrate. Actually, how dry are these? Okay, these guys are probably good to work on next, but I do think I want to try to just get like a little bit on this guy, just a little bit. This is going to be my they're called like canvases or something like that. It's the Azza variant for the House of Wisdom. I also finally found just a Ladak. There we go. So I've been I really like these like alchemical guys from one of the Bestiarm sets. And I was like looking for a good head, but I realized that the game Sludge I talk about has these like really good kind of like turban and mask heads. So I probably do like a little bit more kit bashing to add some like Iron Sultanate decals, but I finally found like a good Janissary body that I like. Another one because I apparently printed out 2 at one point. So I might be doing the Janissary Dream Team. It's maybe this weekend. I don't know. I'm not entirely sure what I want to paint this weekend. And curse you, algorithm. The gorilla with rhythm. There we go. But I feel like I had a plan for a mini I want to work on this weekend, and I realized that like I need to make a thumbnail, and I just don't have. I totally forgot. So maybe that will be it. While I'm trying to remember the original mini I was planning on painting. But yeah, this guy's reasonably close. He was another one of the early experiments with the enamel washes that I got recently-ish. And they were like pretty good, but I think I just didn't use them with like, it took me a couple models before I got like a good feel for how to use the, specifically the like AK Interactive Dark Wash, where I think I was using it like maybe a little straight out of the bottle. Because I was kind of using some of the Villainy Ink ones like that, where I was like, well, this is like, you know, it needs like a little bit of thinning, but not a huge amount because they're already kind of thin. The AK one needs a lot more mineral spirits, but it also means that like it dries a lot more matte. which I enjoy. Does also look like that those guys are still drying a little bit of matte too, but I can always apply more slime, which is you know a very nice benefit. There we go. All right, so he's got a uniformish base now. I get like a little bit more. I'm probably gonna eventually I said, touch up that waist later. Other bullshit. All right, so those guys are still drying. So the lads. All right, so I believe the plan with the lads is I need to do some rust effects. So where's some like good rust? They're already kind of like a dark brownish, so I might just go straight to a like orange rust. Actually, I might try leather brown a little bit. This is a bit less orange than I usually do, but it's still kind of on the brighter side. I'm gonna get this brush. Oh. Actually, hold on. I think one of these might actually. Oh no, the bristles are kind of. Actually, no, this might still be good. There we go. So I got a little bit of paint on the. This is just like a little disposable brush. I like these for just like little bullshit bits. I'm just gonna like kind of just like tap it on there. You can see I'm kind of like reintroducing kind of like a. Maybe I will do like a little bit of an orange rust. I just like that these are nice and flat and I can just like beat the fuck out of them. There you go. Adding a tiny little bit of color. Just an itty bitty bit. Okay, if I go like a lot more on the back then. How the fuck did that change so drastically between the front and the back? Okay. That still looks good though. Okay, now that I've balanced that around. So I guess the secret is I basically just kind of do like a soft dry brush with it. Okay. Do a dry brush with a brush with stiff bristles and I get the rust I'm looking for. Yeah, because I want these to look extra rusty and stuff like that. Oh, it's been 2 hours. That. God, yeah, no. Yeah, it's almost been 2 hours on stream too. I really like Power Wash Sim. I'm not gonna lie. I did pick that up ages ago because because of the 40K collab. I am the target audience. I'm the like, huh. I think it'd be fun to paint a Land Raider, cling a Land Raider, and then bam, I'm just like clinging a regular ass house. It's a pretty fun game though. For me, it's the perfect game to like. Okay, there's like a couple of areas where it's just like, eh. Bit back there too. Or just like put on like some like red letter media, and just kind of just like chill and just listen, just have fun. Oh yeah, I can also do that. He's also got the ones down here a bit. Be a little rougher on those. And actually, this is the first time I've used this like kind of like saddle rust like leather color. It's like a very good, just kind of like subtle rusty. You're good. Yeah, no, I do. I did enjoy Power Wash. I haven't played it in a while. I think I kind of just did that thing where it's like for Conan wept for he had no more lands to conquer. It was sort of that with Power Wash Sim where it's like, well, do I want to get every single DLC for that game? And the answer was no. Like there was a point where it's like, well, I've kind of exhausted the like meaningful things to do in here. It is fun every now and then for like collab stuff. I've done a little bit of Power Wash Sim collabs because it's just it's effectively just something to do while you're like it's a good Zatsudan background game for sure. I get the staff is also kind of like a rusty-ish thing, so I can just pick that up, put it on the back, and like foot maybe a little bit. Hooks. Oh yeah, he's also got the little gun over here. Okay, I'm gonna have to start doing this rust color a lot more because it's really nice. See, I'm learning fun little new tips and tricks every day on twitch.tv/hopper. Oh, that's too thick. Actually, that's fine. That's fine. The nice thing is like this is a Nurgle one, so it's like if it's a little extra rusty than usual, that's also cool. Like not like a little like a little bit on there. a little rub off. Did I get like a little bit the wrong thing? I think I can fix that though. Oh god, I looked at my paint pot water and it is just like straight up. It is just like straight up purple. It is incredibly purple. I assume something like that will work. Then what I want to do with the exact same brush is I'm gonna get the gunmetal color out. I'm gonna do maybe like a smaller dry brush and do like a more proper like metal dry brush on there. Maybe. Definitely a way more thinner one though. The forbidden grape. I have my dry brush pad. Oh fuck, I forgot to do. Oh, it's fine. So get like a little bit of a metal tinge on just kind of like the ends of the blades, so you know they've been used recently. A little bit on the spikes too, so you know they've been used recently. I don't know if the spikes are going to be accumulating any usage, but that's fine. A little bit more just to kind of bring back some oomph, but like not super deep. Hey, let's fucking go. All right, Lad looking good. I think the last step for him is just to begin applying some sort of like enamel, not enamel, just some sort of just like kind of like slimy, washy stuff. Just like way diluted. I've been doing so much like not Nurgle stuff that doing like a proper like rusty piece of metal is like, oh, this is the catharsis. This is why I love Papa Nurgle. I just love doing like rusty bullshit. It's so good. It's so good to me. Like, oh yeah, get them rusty hooks. Yeah, boy, that rusty ass gun. Oh yeah. I could also. So Jay, have yourself a good night and take it easy, yo. I should also hydrate myself. Thank you. It's not illegal to drink paint water, no, but I don't think I'm legally allowed to like ask you guys to drink paint water. If you wish to drink paint water, it is at your own viewer discretion is advised. There, a little bit of chipping. Another like very obvious metal. Oh yeah, he's got the like chainmail right here. Oh yeah, and then also like right here. Then we also got a little bit on these like metal bits I just didn't get earlier for the other stuff. I think this will still be fine. And just kind of do that in a couple spots. There we go. The rusty spoon lover. What does that mean? I feel like it's like gonna be like a horrible sexual act thing that I'm not prepared to claim. But is it a Salad Fingers riff? It's been ages since I've watched Salad Fingers. I'm gonna be real. All right, where's my... I got my acrylic gloss medium, a bottle that I bought before I became a VTuber, and I'm still using to this day, because acrylic medium will just last you forever. Decent amount of goopage on there, and I got Pallid Bone speed paint, which I think like a drop into this should make it sufficiently like oozy. There we go. I got 2 drops because I'm a rebel. Also because I overshot how much I needed. There we go. So I got me some goop. Just gonna like keep the goop roughly around the base. I'm debating, it's like on one hand maybe like a little thinned out amount of slime on the body would be nice, because this did dry a bit more matte than I was expecting. And I do want like some degree of like shinage on him. Yeah, we do be gooping. I don't ever use like a dedicated like Nurgle's Rot goop. I just use acrylic gloss medium and then a paint of that I enjoy. Gonna set that there, and then we're gonna do similar here. The goop is not tinging a huge amount. Still, okay. A little bit more. And golem, or was it pallid? I think it's pallid bone. And the nice thing is, if it's a different color, that'll also be fine. As long as it's just like roughly the same sort of like dirty yellow. I usually default to like a dirty yellow for a lot of my goops. It just always felt right. So I could have also gooped the top of this as well. I don't know what degree of like goopage I want to go. I guess this is a sewer. I guess even in a sewer, the rocks are going to be kind of like, you know, like a little wet, a little goopy, a little goofy. I'm gonna try to go in like relatively thick goop on the ground. Then I'm gonna try to like probably thin the acrylic gloss medium and then hit up the actual like lads themselves, because I do want them to be like a little bit slick looking. Maybe the Slanesh ones I might not go for as much of a slick look. There we go. Let's see. We got this big old spoonful of the goop. Put it in a palette thing and just add water. Oh god, I'm grabbing like new water because like the water on this guy is like basically entirely purple. Like I've so rarely had to change waters midstream. I might need to. I might need to go take like a quick break just to like rinse out my water cup. I've not had to do that really before. Like since it's nice and dry, I'll leave the and make everything goopy. But I think I'm gonna leave the metals not goopy and just kind of keep the goop kind of confined to the flesh. I don't want to lose like too much of the definition. There we go. The curse to not pop my back. Oh, wait, do you want your back to be popped, or are you cursed that like your back is popping and you don't want it to? Hey, dude, Laughing Fox. I'm doing good. I've been working on the Goop Boy today, and the other Goop Boy, and they're both turned out really, really good. I'm doing some Chaos Spawn. I'm currently just doing I don't need my blood right. There we go. I probably need to go and like spread this acrylic gloss meat in a while. Oh, thank you. I'm glad you like them. I have actually really been enjoying how they're turning out. This is perfect. So I got a bit of a sheen on here, which is good, but it's not like overpowering, which is what I was afraid of. I just kind of like smoosh this around a little bit. There we go. Yeah, it's hard for me to pop my back too. So I feel you on that. It's hard to pop goop. It's hard to pop jelly, but there are days that like, oh, I wish it could pop. So this is good. Okay, so yeah, watering down the gloss medium is definitely keeping the sheen very satin, which is good because I was afraid. There have been times that I've like overglossed something and it like looks bad. Like I still want you to be able to read this and be like, oh yeah, well look at all these like little details Hal put in there. If it's too goopy, those details get destroyed, which is why I'm like, when you guys were like, how can you ruin a Chaos Spawn? That's how. That's how it's like at that point where you just like. It is possible just to go a little too heavy with effects. I'm very guilty of going too heavy with effects sometimes. And how you doing, son? Welcome. Hope to not. I have to keep remembering that I can't. I have to keep remembering that I can't use my actual water yet because it's way too covered in just like purple paint right now. How you doing, son? How you doing? I've been working on the Chaos Meatball lads again, and they've been turning out really good. I've been very, very happy with them. overall, considering that this project was kind of like a thing I decided to do on a whim, I'm pretty much happy with like every step. I think every step of this turned out at least like pretty neat. I have the entire process of building these minis recorded, with the idea that like maybe someday when the stars align and I can put a video together, that I will have the entire process documented so people can not only see me paint but see me build. And ideally I want to add some commentary for like why I did this project and like why I chose the parts I chose and stuff like that, you know. So this has been good. This has been good. Get like a little goop up here. Just add a little bit of shine to the flesh stuff that's on the back of the skeletal. What color? What should you use for drawing? Green. Are you on In Rust We Trust? I have no idea what that is. I'm curious. I do like me some Rust, so like I'm conceptually on board at the very least. Yes. Oh, I think this one's taking to the goop better. I'm going to be real. I don't join a lot of Discords. You can post a link. You can post a link. Yeah, no, I'm not really part of like any mini hobby Discord whatsoever. Other than like, you know, like the official Turnip and the official Trench Crusade. Fuck yeah. Oh, fuck yeah, let's go. The lads. Okay, there we go. The Helldivers is talking. Oh yeah, I think they were talking about doing like some sort of collab thing, which would be really, really neat. All right, I'm not gonna open that right now, but I will copy that for later. Let me copy that and put that on my notes. Yeah, I use folders, and even then that's like still too much almost. That's, hold on. Bust, Discord. I'm gonna take your word that this is the correct Discord and you're not sending me to like Saucy Lady Feet International or whatever. I'll probably be fine for it. Feel the gring in your heart and go from there. There we go. All right, I still need to replace the water, but I think before I do that, what I want to do is I want to do the just dry brushing on the bodies of these guys. I'm going to just use beige red, the skin tone, because I want this to be kind of skin-ish. I'll use the slightly bigger dry brush, and we'll see how it goes. Assuming that there are people that like gribbly horror nonsense, I'm pretty sure that they would be my people. I'd believe it. Oh. And let's begin. So yeah, the original idea of me making all this like purple, that was not because the end result was going to be purple. The end result is going to be more skin tone-ish. Which now is actually like beginning to manifest now that I'm doing it like this. Turning out pretty baller. Yeehaw, let's go. It's like this is probably closer to like, I think when I did the skin recipe for the flesh cloak, it was slightly different than this. Like I think I used maybe like a different base, but the premise was more or less the same. Of like taking a kind of like darkish, reddish, purplish, and then like kind of doing the dry brush layer of the flesh on top of it. I'll have to definitely have to like touch up like the pinks and whatnot later, and I might need to even take like a smaller dry brush and get some of the crevices. It's not too bad though. But yeah, I mean for the drawing, definitely use as much green as you can. Heard of SLFI? I also have not heard of that either. I've not heard of that either. I am curious though. What do be that? What do be that? Big fuck off orc mitt in the back. I forget if I need to do this like a couple different times, because I think the other one I did like a couple light coats. God. I do wonder if the In Rust We Trust guys are going to be confused when like an anime. Then again, I guess people with like anime PFP profiles, saucy lady feet. Oh, okay. Excuse me, I'm the vice president. No, I've been over that. I don't like feet. Honestly, don't do a huge amount for me. Like I'm like I can enjoy feet accessories like stockings and like socks and whatnot, but like it's just the act of like, hey, look, feet. Like, yeah, cool. Oh, okay. Is that it? Yeah. Oh, okay. And that's where I just kind of like, well, okay, that's not especially wild bullshit. Not feeling it, Mr. Krabs. So many angles. I do like the more I get into this like accident. All the nice thing about doing this, a lot of the shapes are like organic. Like when I was gluing the bits together, there's definitely wasn't a huge amount of planning. I think like you can every now and then see like, I think there's like a little leg bit right there and some other bits of nonsense. But like these like whole bits were just kind of just formed by just like, these were like legs connected to a torso that just happened to leave like a equivalent hole there. Love that. I like that. Too thick. Way too thick. Get a wet brush and kind of just like. Okay, there we go. Save. But you gotta be a little careful with dry brushing every now and then. There's still little caverns in here that are the fleshy color, like the base purplish stuff. This is gonna be a little annoying, so I might have to let these fuckers dry just like a smidge more. But yeah, okay, hold on. There. Get into this kind of like recess, and hey, check it out, lad. And let's do this other lad as well. There we fucking go. Hell yeah. So yeah, I guess the plan is I'm gonna need to paint the spines. I'm gonna need to also dry brush the spines separately. Then I might need to touch up the gold a little bit. Then I'll have to do the enamel wash. But we're getting there, and like we're at like 2 hours, so I think the end is in sight potentially for getting both of these like also enameled and painted up, which will be good because I have not. This guy's got like a wristband. Yeah, it's fine. Like I could paint the wristband a different color, maybe. I don't know. These are also like you know, I want these to look good, but there's also part of it just like fuck it. Just let stuff kind of happen and like don't sweat the small details. They are chaos spawn at the end of the day, you know. So it's but a lot of these guys were like before I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna take any like old Chaos Space Marine bit that I bought from like a shit bin, and there's just like the models too fucked up to do anything with and put them in there, which is why you can see like a really old style torso for here. But I did find a couple more than I missed, and those are just now actually becoming possessed. Ah, there we go. Bad break. I have to take it. I've been big yapping. Doing the water. Maybe when I change the water, I might also. When I change my paint water, I might have to change my people water. Because elves are people too. A little bit on there. There we go. But yeah, it's been neat. I think it's just once again because I've been watching a lot of Mistcast stuff, and it's been really fun seeing just like, yeah, this old model I got kicking around, turned it into a new thing. I've been enjoying taking that same ethos to a couple of my older stuff. And it's also been nice too because it's like, yeah, I need more chaos possessed, because if I'm gonna run my Lost in the Dam list, apparently I'm gonna need 10 now, and I only have 5 Hal Vorback, which are just not particularly painted a whole lot. Like they're actually pretty close. They were sort of like that, like in theory, if I got done early tonight. And once again, every time I'm like, maybe I'll get done early tonight. That's never real. Never. Oh fuck yeah, let's go. I will have to check the art channel later. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Let's go. there. It's nice. All the little bits I can see in there. But yeah, so like the fact I'm gonna need 5 more means I got this guy who is just like recycled arms because he just at some point in the I just got him as a torso, and this guy was a Primaris at one point that I got used. He's actually like relatively put together. I need to do some like flesh stuff because like this is just the shoulder pad and the backpack are from a Word Bearers bit, but the rest are just like from a Daemonet kit from the Bestiarum Daemonets that came out this month, which are really, really nice. I have a full set of them printed out to use as like proper Daemonets, but I found that like if you print them at like maybe like 120% size, they're really, really handy for just like, for like a possessed, because you just get like nice big claws and like a really good looking demon face. The demon face is really good. Actual proper dome up there. Oh, I also got this other, I'm painting a quote-unquote Imperial Fist, which I'll also show you guys a little bit. Because the other guy I've been playing 3rd edition with is a Imperial Fist player. I thought it'd be fun to make a sort of like Alpha Legion guy who is sort of like infiltrating. Like, not to be like, haha, he's in your army, just more that's like, he's dressed up as one of your dudes in disguise. And he's been doing the deep recons. Because I just always think that thing's neat when people incorporate your friends' armies into stuff. Like I'm fully down if once again like a friend of mine put a shield of one of my turnip legions on the big turnip beast, and I was like, this is the fucking greatest thing ever. It's so good. It's such a big serotonin boost just to see like another model outside your army make a reference to a thing you've done. Oh god, I gotta get up in there. Maybe what I just gotta do is I gotta do a second dry brush pass. But if I use the boar brush, because it's a bit more like traditional brushy, it'll actually probably be good. This one I can go. Sorry, oh, there we go. I was like, what was I looking for? Oh shit, there's some like pink and bullshit right back there I gotta reach. Get like, this will be good just to get a couple like the little areas the big dry brush can't reach, which for the most part seems to be pretty much wherever. That's the nice thing about just like getting a couple good dedicated dry brush brushes. Like I am very much on the like use older brushes to use as dry brushes or use to makeup ones. This is just like a boar bristle brush. It is sturdy as shit. Like it's just meant to be just like beaten up. But like it will never do anything nice and precise. But yeah, just get you a set like that, and just like every now and then just make sure you like remove all the, because like the downside of dry brush brushes is due to the nature of like you have to get the pigment all up in there. You really got to clean those sons of bitches, because if not, they will accumulate paint and they will crust up. Which just means periodically for mine, I just hit them with an alcohol bath, and then I use like something to recondition them, and they're basically good to go. Even the Artis Opus ones, which are like of a nicer quality, so I should treat them a little better, but like I don't treat them like significantly better than my other paintbrushes. Like most things, if you even like alcohol baths are pretty like tough. Like they do a lot, but they're also like kind of like, they do strip out like natural oils and stuff like that. But those can be just sort of added back in with like brush conditioning bullshit, because that, those oils will just go away after a while, because like, you're putting paint and just removing paint off of paintbrushes all the time anyway. Right. These 2 chocolate fucks are good for now. I'm gonna go take a very short. I don't need to take a night. I'm gonna get some water, and I'm gonna change one of my water, my rinser cup, because it is. Oh no! It's turned out crocodile chop. It's too late. Anyway. I will be right back. I gotta get some water to drink and to paint with. Here we go. Knocking over shit. There we go. All right, I'm back. Oh, that was Crocodile Chop by Neil Cicierega. It's we're listening to all the Mouth albums today because it's just the mood I was feeling. And we're back. Welcome back, everybody. I did in fact take an idle break. I was like, oh, you know, this is probably good use of my time just to get this out of my system. But yeah, what do we want to do? What do we want to do? Oh, this guy needs. Gotta do the horns. I think I gotta do another layer. What color did I do? I think I did like a mahogany brown. There we go. Yeah, I tricked you. There was no Hell Rave today. Wartime didn't fix your back. Oh, that's. I wonder if it's like a. I know I got like one of those like little like massage guns, and those are really nice. Actually, I should probably hit that. I should probably hit that. I should probably hit my back with that later, just to like jostle the jellies. Sounds like it'd be nice, actually. There we go. That works. No. No, it's just like a massage gun thing. Like I know Itachi Magic ones exist. I know they're used for a lot of things. But no. I was like, I just want something just to like I can just like blast my back with every now and then, like when I'm feeling sore. It's like, oh, that feels good. That feels good. I also kind of forget about it. Because I'll just like leave it like under my bed somewhere. I'm like, oh yeah, no, I do have this. But like when I'm just like cleaning shit, like, oh yeah, I should use that. Might be nice. How you doing, Lord of Bones? Welcome. I'm working on Chaos Spawn because I basically the other two lads are still definitely drying and they need the rim of black around their base, but they're pretty much done. I know what you're doing there, but I'm gonna be say so about this. I just want my back to feel good. That's all. No, nothing scabby about that. Just like it's like a nice back massage. I knew as soon as I mentioned that it was things were gonna go this way, but it's like it's still true. I still just use it for my back. Okay, nerds, whatever. Fine. It's fine. Ugh. Yeah, I got the horns to take care of, and then I probably need to touch up the pink in a couple of areas, and then gold maybe in a couple of areas, and then some enamels. What do you mean I'm still young? Listen, I'm not that old, but I am 35. That definitely puts me in I'm definitely not young at 35. I'm young at heart, which is a fun way of saying I'm a man-child, but I'm definitely not young. I'm definitely not young. Hey, dude. Hey, yo, let's go. Well, the hell, buds get employment. Fuck yeah. Look at me. I can be like, yo, other VTubers. Do you have stable contributing members to society like I do? Get wrecked. I do got a lot of stable contributing members to society in my viewership, which makes me feel good. You're all clumped up. So you're just saying you want someone to like crack your back open like Bane. Just someone just go like, you feel in charge, and just go like. I know those are different Banes, but still, you know. I think you gotta do the goofy voice Bane at first, just because like, you know, as one does. Have I? No, I don't think so. No, the Yoshinori doesn't immediately ring a bell. So not that I've not heard them. Not that I'm not aware of what those might be. So once again, to be fair, I'm very out of touch for manga stuff in general. It's almost like these are like chaos possessed legs, so they got like a lot of extra funky little details. You feel in control? Every time I do that, I just have to put my hand over my mouth. It's amazing that wasn't that fucking Liam Neeson? I forget who Bane was in those movies. My heart says it was Liam Neeson. The fact that he can just do I guess he always did have a base cover, which is just kind of a similar thing to doing like the shitty cup hand. Not ready to get your job. I feel like if you've gotten this far, you're probably at a good running stage. Like if they weren't at least interested, you would not have gotten this far. So I'm going to be optimistic for you, and you can be as optimistic as you feel like being. This one does. Just a bowl. Oh shit! I don't get a bowl near me. Oh, I do have like a little cup that I hold like 3D prints in there. You could Let's see. You could drop in the Discord. There's the share zone. That's probably going to be the best spot for it. I would say drop it in the share zone and go from there. A couple more on these little side horns. A couple more on these horns, and then they're going to need dry brushed, and then probably some more pink and some stuff. Okay, this is going a bit less frustrating. Oh, sorry. Just there's share zone, or there's also an anime and like animus and mango. I think animus and mango, something like that. That's also a section you can do that as well. I think that's it. Yeah. That actually, in hindsight, would be a better section because, like, you know, that's where people are typically looking for like anime and manga recs and stuff like that. Either one's good. You guys are gonna dry. Whoa, you're drying a little bit. The lads. I do think the lads are genuinely done. Like, I could maybe do a little bit of purple highlight stuff. But I think what I want to do is I need to paint the rim black. As my usual. It's actually kind of interesting because, like, I know the typical, like, early Warhammer Goblin Green bases. But recently, from my a little bit of my birthday treat yourself, I did get me the Codex Eye of Terror. It was also only like $20 too, so I was like, yeah, this is a fucking steal. And it's really interesting because around then you can sort of see the move over from black rim from green rim bases to kind of like the brown, because like I can't forget that a lot of modern G-Dubs minis don't use black rims. They use that kind of like dirt brown, I guess. And it's just seeing that show up like more and more in these kind of like big, like the army shots are still very reminiscent of like second edition stuff where, you know, it's like a big green battlefield where clearly this used to be a Warhammer fantasy board. But at the same time though, as you can see the kind of like design like the painting philosophy shift, which is very neat. It's like I like the Goblin Green on like really retro models and bases, but yeah, I do think overall, like a different color is better for like a more sci-fi thing. Unless you only play on like green battlefields. In that case, I mean, go nuts, you know. But it's been neat. It's been neat. But yeah, I also want to get that codex so I could someday run Lost in the Damned, which is I'm very excited for. Hi, Dude Frog! Welcome, everybody. Welcome. If you do not know me, I'm Howernot the Mimico, miniature painting VTuber of the Nurgle and Skaven variety. How is Peak treating you, yo? I'm working on some Chaos spawns, so I got this lad, who is, like, doing really good. And various stages of drying. Now I got this lad. These are made of recycled orcs and some other just miscellaneous bits I got. Yeah, I'm wanting to build me one, too, out of, like... I already have a lot of Chaos stuff, and then I just need to do some turnip stuff, and there's like a couple extra models I want to print, and like paint and whatnot. Like my agitators and a couple of other things. It's going to be a very long-term project, but it's also going to be recycling a lot of minis. Like, part of me was like, you know, I could use rat ogres. I could use rat ogres for mutants, for the big mutants. How you doing, Ergon? How you doing? You're painting hell? Let's go. Scoutmaster Hunt down, my friend. Hey, let's go. So we got the lad. I know there's like a couple of people in my, like, I'm very busy during the week, but I know my regular tabletop group also has like a couple of, like, every now and then people will be like, hey, let's go play Peak. So I have not been able to catch those games directly, but every now and then I just see like the response of what they're up to and like, we all fucking died again. Like hang in there, bros. You'll do it someday, I believe. I believe in Peak. Bone dry brushing on the various stuff like that. But yeah, cause like, once again, I really like the idea of like the mixed Chaos Space Marine and mutants and technically demons, though demons, I don't know how I feel about demons. I like the idea that you have to summon them conceptually, but I feel like that would be a huge pain. Oh, damn. Well, work on your shit then. Work on your shit. It'll be fine. You'll be fine. Just work now. Paint along while I'm painting. That'll get you in the mood for painting. Hey, it's all good. Listen. I raid and run all the time. It is not a big deal. But yeah, have yourself a good night and take it easy, yo. Getting them bones, getting them bone colored. Bone color is red. I'm just using an off-white right now, which seems to be doing good. Oh, yeah, okay, never mind. I guess maybe you're working too hard then. Like maybe, you know. I feel like if you're feeling cross-eyed and then going immediately to the gym, that is a risky move. Like I know focusing on direct objects is hard, so I'm gonna go to a place where if I drop something on me, I'll fucking explode. But hey, look at you didn't fucking explode though, so good job. Hell yeah, hell yeah. An itty bitty bit of pink there I want to fix. My dish itself and just grab a little bit. Hey, let's go. There we go. Oh, if you're just doing, oh, okay. My brain, like, I realize conceptually that there's other exercises at the gym, but for some reason my brain's like, yeah, there's only one thing ever at the gym, and that's lifting weights. Which why? I've been on exercise bikes at the gym before. I don't know why my brain is like not thinking of that, but whatever. Bit of this. There, and then got a little bit of the side ones. At what point do I want to, let's see. What if I can get a little bit of his teeth? Yep. Then your horns are basically, oh, hold on. Like one magical angle, like around like this side that I just gotta make sure I hit. There we go. When at one point I need to start gluing these guys to the bases too. That might also help because then I can grip something and then also figure out like what details are actually going to be like reasonably visible. Maybe I'll do that next too, because that might also prevent some rubbing, which would be good. Got little nubbins on his horns, which I'm probably going to need to touch up as well. This guy used to definitely have like two big horns, and at some point the other one snapped off, and I don't remember if that snapped off during building or if I did that on purpose when I was like clipping stuff for my all of Warback models. Because this is where like when I split the old Chaos Possessed and I took their like limbs and the good heads and the wings, this is where the bodies went. Thank you for the images. Fuck yeah, let's go. Let's go. But yeah, this is where all those the remaining limbs and bodies, because I was like, these are ugly as shit. They're proportion weird. They're not gonna like fit anywhere else. These are just gonna languish forever. And I was like, well, no, this would be good for the meatball. And they provided like the legs and whatnot, because a lot of these end up as like weird quadrupeds and stuff like that. It might, okay, I could see stress being a culprit for something like that. I could totally see stress being behind that. I get a little bit of pink, and I just want to make sure at the very least that there's no just like obvious white. Hey, both of you are cute. Wait, what's the other cute thing? Not that. Hold on, not that. I'll have to check that later though to see what you mean by both. Oh. All right, let me get so like a little bit there. Oh, the comment. Oh, gotcha. So let's go. So like I've not watched a lot of anime in a while, but I keep getting like recommended clips from Dress Up Darling, and like I know that I would probably enjoy it, and I know I eventually want to watch it. Because, like, man, every time I see clips from that show, I'm like, Jesus Christ, this is like weapons grade cuteness. Fuck. Ah. Couple of images. Hey, I mean, like those kind of comics are still good too. I like those as well. It's. Oh God, this angle. What the fuck is this angle? Like it's I don't even know if you. There we go. You got some cuts. It's like right up in there. Okay, there we go. Okay, okay, looks like these are less of a pain in the dick than I was expecting, and more just kind of like. Oh wait, I could also do. Oh, I could do weathering powders on the feet too to hide some. Hey, let's go. I think I'm about to do some big brain moves. We're listening to art. I mean, yeah, kinda. This is a lot of Neil Cicierega stuff, which is I say his name like people know who he is, and a lot of people do, but for people who are kind of, especially like more younger, he's the guy that did Ultimate Showdown of Ultimate Destiny, Potter Puppet Pals, Lemon Demon, the song Two Trucks, if you ever heard Two Trucks Having Sex. Like that song, he's arguably kind of the secret architect for a lot of internet culture. Yeah, like the amount of like what he's done for internet culture, I think is like I genuinely think like a documentary going over his life would be like a worthwhile thing for society. Because he's done a lot. He also did the fucking if Ariel had like legs comic, like the one that's like the Seven Vaginas, that comic. I love that. Anytime someone says like an increment, it's not even necessarily 7, but just like kind of could fit into that. Like that immediately pops in my head. It just lives there, like the most definition of rent free you could possibly imagine. I was a little worried because like I built the bases so that these guys would like fit on the ground in a certain way. I was like, oh god, what if they don't? What if in the process of painting them, they just rapidly thickened up in a way that's just unpredictable? Now we good. We Gucci. Yeah, no, to be fair, yeah, I mean, that is what they are. It is a lot of like 90s alt rock, like 90s like news articles about Pokemon and furries. It's a weird mix, but I love it to pieces. It's so good. Here we go. Oh, fuck. Okay. I'm gonna let them dry a bit. They're looking good. Let's go back to these two lads who are... Ah, fuck! No! Put a little bit more glue on them. Hold on, Toto. Let me make sure that this is all good and locked in before I really just move that away. There we go, we good. There we go. All right, so they've been moved over. These guys are still being these guys. I'm a little iffy is I think I did end up making them look very similar to the slime on the base, but I think that might even be a feature, not a bug, considering that they're Nurgle Chaos Spawn, the idea of like something like rising out of the muck. Yeah, no, he's legitimately the sources he uses for these songs are insane. He'll just use all the shit. It's great. It's so good. It's so good. This is why it's funny because like I've played this all the Mouth albums. I would arguably it's probably like the most consistent. That's not like one of my big just like anime playlist or whatever. Basically, at least several times, like every couple of weeks. And every now and then, like people were just like, will just get caught off guard again. They'll be like, okay. Like I've heard most of this before, but they'll just be like, what the fuck is that one song? Hold on. Like just like you'll just miss something. You'll just miss like a little tidbit and you're like, what the fuck? It really is. I think the only other person that creates a similar feeling for me is DJ Cumberbund, where like he'll create a mashup that I'm just like, what the fuck are you doing? And it will sound good. Because for me the best part of mashups is that they still need to sound good. And if there is like some sort of like joke component, that does improve them a little bit. Like he's the one that will just fucking mix the Apatsu song with like fucking Dragula and then Du Hast and like some other stuff. DJ Cumberbund. As far as I'm aware, Neil Cicierega hasn't done a Mouth album in many years now. I actually don't know what he's up to these days. He's one of those people I don't like. I'm a big fan of his work, but I also don't keep up with them. Just like every now and then I just let something of his manifest. How you doing, Meister Miller? Welcome, welcome, welcome. I am working on the Chaos Spawn again. I got the Nurgle ones basically done. Yeah, no, that's what he does. It's super great. Yeah, check it out, Meister Miller. Check it out. This is what happened to the recycled Orc Chaos Spawn. They created a beautiful a beautiful, horrible piece of shit, which is my goal. Always my goal. All right, let's see what the Slanesh ones need. A little bit. Okay, from this angle, I can also see like, oh, from this angle, yeah, as you know, a little bit up there. Oh, there's okay, I'll play that song. It's a DT Cummerbund remix that's combines both of those and a bunch of other stuff. It is very like millennial just like nostalgia mix with like a little tinge of like Zoomer BS. It's really fun. Like using a very Zoomer song to frame a sort of millennial greatest hits. Going in there. Like a couple little areas where I can see it's like that they just didn't get enough pink earlier, which I can now. Also a couple areas that could use like more gold around the pink. You know, I think that one just might. I might just do this one entirely flesh. Trying to make that one a little pink, and I just think it's already kind of lumpy and weird, so like I think it's just going to be more of a natural fit, just like do kind of like that. Yeah, there we go. It's a little bit more. Hey, it's all good. I would rather you watch clean than just like stew in your own filth and feel bad about it. So like, you know, shower if you must. Got that. I could maybe add a little bit more pink back to this plate, just because like this one's kind of like. I go back and forth on this one whether I want this plate to be flush or not. If I just kind of like swoosh it like that, that'll be fine. Got some tubes and stuff on that one. This one is doing. I wonder if some of these, if I just do the enamel wash and just get it over with, like, and then just come back and like touch up the pink in a couple spots, will be good. Oh, you know, this is like I said, Neil Cicerega is like legitimately an incredibly talented musician. He just uses his skills. I wouldn't even say for evil. I would say for mischief. He's kind of like the archetypical like Pan, where he's just like doing just like weird, whimsical nonsense that you're like, what? But why? And you're like, oh yeah, but then you listen, you're like, no, I understand now. I understand why you use your talents in this manner. Oh, for sure. True chaotic neutral, indeed. Flip it on there. There, especially. There we go. The power to create good or evil. Yeah, I don't know if I have that same level. I was about to say I don't know if I have that same level of mischief, but then I also did create the. I didn't create them. I painted them, but I did bring a finalized version of the skin dreadnought into this world. So like, maybe I'm in that same bucket. How you doing, 14? Welcome. How you doing? I am working on lad. What tube there? What tube? What color do I want that tube? Maybe like another metal color. I have made several lemon pigs, which I haven't finished the one for this year. The lemon pig for this year, I've been like in an artistic rut. I know what I want to do though. I have a plan for this year's lemon pig. I just need to like have some time in a weekend just to finish the body. Mischief? Oh, what do you mean mischief? That's just chaos spawn. Totally normal, not strange thing at all. Just, you know, just a good old garden variety chaos spawn. Nothing suspicious about that. I need to remove a bit of my Vallejo metal color paint has gotten a thin layer of crust over the nozzle, and I need to remove it. Fine. There we go. Crust has been busted. There we go. There we go. Oh, there we go. That's smooth now. I still haven't ran out. Despite using that color roll, I still haven't ran out yet, which is also good. So yeah, he's got this like random 2 ink, really thick, and like that, and then yep, I see some stuff that needs to be gold. Oh yeah, no, there we go. He do be a gooey boy. I'm liking how you guys are just like oh fuck, I see. I more like I hear. At last I hear the clarion call of insanity, the Neil Ciceriga special. Get like any of the edges really that need to be gold. I'm kind of doing that a little bit. Some of those will probably be fine even once I do the enamel. Not super worried. I think these might need like a post enameling touch up anyway though, as opposed to the Nurgle Chaos Spawn, because that came out beautiful and perfect, and I have no issues either way. Oh, this motherfucker, itty bitty bits of trim bullshit, but not like. This is also funny because my warband is actually like not Emperor's Children. This is just like a good recycling for all of the pauldrons, because like I don't need these pauldrons. All my guys are functionally like effectively like heretical word bearers, and like I mean like even like heretical 2 other word bearers. But they're still going to use a lot of the word bearer iconography and stuff. Oh yeah, just it's like mouth sounds, mouth moods, and mouth silence, I believe. If you look up like Neil Ciceriga mouth albums, so I can't play them because I'm using a specific like version of like a YouTube app to play all these. There is a version that's 4 hours. That's all of the collective mouth albums. You want to get that one in particular, specifically because it has annotations. The annotated like fan like compilation of all those will tell you like what references are. References will pop in and out as they show up in the songs. It is I think the best way to like listen if you have like a screen up, because then you could like figure out where everything's coming from. But like I because I can't really do that right now because I'm using the YouTube music playing app, and the only reason I'm doing that, no one should really use, like, I'm using the YouTube music app. No one should do that. I'm using it because it powers the plugin that's in the bottom that looks nice. If there wasn't a plugin attached to it, I would have ditched that shit ages ago, as a heads up. But that is not an endorsement to YouTube Music. If there was another way around it, I absolutely would have. For this problem, it's really specific. But then again, I don't know. So like, every time I find out that like what Zoomers are like listening on TikTok, a lot of times is like songs I grew up on. So like, I wouldn't be surprised if they're like a lot of these have just like at one point were like big TikTok hits, and then just kind of like receded back. How you doing, Bellamy? Welcome. How you doing? Working on some Chaos Spawn, lads, and I see what you're doing there, and I will get a drink myself in a second. This little bit. What does that mean? Big. Oh, toe? Sure. Okay. Okay, bud. Sip real quick. Ah, there we go. There we go. But yeah, how you doing? Like I said, I'm working on the Chaos Spawn, lads. It's going pretty good. I was hoping to get both of them done today, and that actually might be feasible. Depending. I think the plan right now is if I just add a little bit more trim to this guy's other foot. Like, roughly like right there. While he's drying, I think I can begin the... Oh, let me double check this guy. No, he needs a tiny bit more up top first. Just needs a tiny bit more pink. There we go. Oh, I also might use the marker on this guy. Oh, I'm like, this guy only needs like one more detail. Finds 3 more details. Yeah, there we go. You guys got the little bumplets. There we go. All right. Let me get... Actually, I could just hit both of them with a blow dryer real quick. Yeah. Boy. There we go. That should be good. Get the enamel set up again. All right. Enamel in round 2. Yeehaw. Let's go. Oh, get that. Oh, yeah, the brush. I was just standing around, like, wiggling my hands, like, eventually my body would figure out what my brain is trying to do, and it did. It eventually happens. Eventually the nerves connect, and things will happen. Let's start with this lad, and I'm gonna do basically the same thing, aka Wargame Wash's Dark Wash. I'm gonna hit all the fleshy bits, and I really hit all the bits with this, and then and then later I'll probably go and actually, I'm at some point I probably need to replace my mineral spirits. It's really dark, but because I always use them for dark washes, it hasn't really super mattered yet. I imagine if I was doing like an actual like proper like these paints need to be clean, there would be some blowback to this, but that's I just got gold on my hand, but yeah, that's pretty par for the course for what I do. Screw on the lid between each go because I don't want to get fucked up. And let's begin. That might need a wee bit more spirits. Drops. There we go. That's not so bad. It's not so bad. There we go. There we go. Sure, especially I think this will be fine too, especially if I like spread it out around a bit more. I'm also realizing I'm getting like model drift, so I gotta bring it back. Yeah, let's go. And this is gonna eventually dry on here, and then I'm going to do the like bloody, fleshy stuff. I guess it's also going to determine how much I do for the pink, because a lot of this pink is gonna like figure out like how much of the bullshit is the pink gonna cover. Will probably determine like what I'm gonna be doing for like touch up and whatnot. Especially, I believe if I sponge a lot of this off. I think the sponging step on these guys especially going to be real make it or break it. And then if the legs are like not nearly, if the legs need more work, I can do that. But I also might just do the like these are going to be drier. Like these like I might make the actual body will probably be a lot more like gooey because I think the Carrion Crimson has a bit more of a natural satin look than the stuff I'm using now for the green tinge effect I did. I don't think that typically has. I think that has some satin, but like I think after diluting it quite a bit, a lot of that satin was lost. So I'm hoping anyway. I'm hoping really really badly that the Carrion Crimson will kind of bring back some of that satin, but otherwise a lot of the stuff around the slab is going to be way drier. Fuck, there was this guy. Oh yeah, one of these guys had the orc. Oh fuck. The orc in the corner. I forgot about the orc in the corner. I will need to paint that orc at least green before I go super far. Luckily, okay. Before I enamel the other guy, all I have to do is just get like a little bit of green paint on that orc. I tried to wedge somewhere on each of the models. Like this guy's got like an orc bit right there. I want to have at least a little bit of the original orc, like visible. Like, you know, this is an orc club. The way I've set this up, it doesn't read orc as much as like, you know, a lot of orc stuff. It is just funny how much like the older G-dubs, like kind of kit bash directions were like, hey, do you want like just like a big thick arm on this mutant orc? And the Lost in the Dam one specifically, they're like, yeah, orc faces are really big. So what we did is we just put an orc face directly on the body of a random mutant. So it's just like mutant guy with just straight up just like a regular orc face. Like it doesn't look like anything but an orc face, but the orc face is like, it's a living. Oh, okay, G-dubs. Oh, you're like really getting close to getting like 365 punches. It's only a matter of time. Only a matter of time. A little bit more. Continue to dry this bad boy out. It's good. I think that's a good amount. There we go. Now this is where I got me a new makeup sponge. I don't know if I like. On one hand, these seem to last like a decent amount. Oh, there we go. The other option would be straight up if I just wish to just like I assume there's got to be some way you could wash these, because they are just sponges. Like if I just like take a bunch of these and just like soak them in like soapy warm water or whatever, and just like I'm expecting they eventually would reach like a saturation point where just like any amount of just like paint removal is just no longer feasible. But I am curious though. I am curious if that's something that could be done. If I could eventually just reach a point where I could just be like, yeah, just like it's sponge bath day, just go and put all my sponges in the bath and get them all like nice. Just put them back in the same tub so they can be used for removing bullshit again. That sounds like that could be cool. This is not brightening nearly as much. I guess maybe I either let too dry, or I guess the inherent kind of purpliness of this. I could use a little bit of an enamel remover. Really want, or maybe I think I just gotta be. Oh yeah, I just gotta be a bit rougher. I gotta remember that I'm just using a sponge, and like I don't really need to fear like scrapage as much. This is not like a particularly harsh material, so I just really just kind of go in there and just like really sort of bring back those like original fish color. If I like the legs and stuff, I can just kind of push it around, but everything else I just get in there and just kind of like try to rub. I guess I could also just like rip off chunks too if I really wanted. I know I did see like a 3D printable, man. I keep finding shit that I want to use my FDM printer for, but I still haven't unfucked it yet. I still have not unfucked my FDM printer. I need to. I really, really need to. And I've been looking. I have like a couple of like screw strippers just like bookmarked for later to look at. Like I gotta see if I can find one the size of like whatever the screw is inside my FDM printer at the moment. I want that. I want that for like terrain and stuff. Especially all these, because I found these like really cool like fleshy terrain bits. It's like an old abandoned ruin thing, but there's like a lot more just like dedicated, just sort of like, yeah. I think a lot of it is just like that's one of those things that like I need to set time aside for it, or I need to make sure I get like the right tool. I don't know. I also might maybe I'll try to do that thing again where you just take a what's it called? You can take a. Like apparently you can take like a rubber band and put it on this like the what's it called? It's the hex bolt or whatever. It's like an Adams screwdriver or something like that. I don't know. But there's like some name for it of that particular type of screwdriver that I just cannot recall off the top. Actually, okay. The legs are turning out really good. I was really worried for the legs for a bit, but no, I think we Gucci. I think we Gucci on these. They'll definitely dry and probably be a little dusty, and I might do some touch-up, stuff like that. Once again, getting a little bit of model drift. Huzzah! There we go. Allen Key, thank you. There we go. I was like, it's a name. Definitely a name. All right. So I need to do a little bit of actual painting before I go super deep. Get some paint for deep work. Totally forgot about. I could also Typheus Art, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the workshop. How you doing? I'm working on some chaos spawn little lads I put together. They're turning out pretty bits, but I need to do. I was usually doing like the enamel stage, but I forgot a lad, so I'm gonna see how much I can paint this without significantly shifting up my setup. I'm balancing a wet palette on a chair arm, so we'll see how that goes. How you doing? Yeah, I just totally forgot I put like an orc head here. Accidentally stone colored it up really, really well. Oh, fuck yeah, let's go. Once I get this too, I can show you sort of what the others look like. This guy doesn't need to be like too. The end goal is he's just going to be detritus. Try to sunlight back and forth. He's just gonna be. Oh, I am nearly. Oh, this is why I gotta be really careful. I nearly just stuck one of my acrylic brushes directly into mineral spirits. How are you doing? How you doing? Eyes, I can probably do like red and then just do a little bit of like stuff like that. But yeah, so yeah, let me show you one of the ones from. It's actually like. I mean, there might be some touch-ups later, but I kind of doubt it. But yeah, this is one of them. This is basically made out of recycled Orc Commandos, some leftover Chaos bits I had. You can see like a whole ass Poxwalker on the back. It was. No, that's just like basically, this is part of sort of like a two-pronged project where one part of it was like, hey, I have a lot of models that I will just never paint. I don't really have a, like, if I did orcs, I think if I wanted to do orc commandos, I would do the new ones. And, like, these ones are also that kind of, they were from that, like, weird Games Workshop, like, resin plastic mix where they had, like, some of the details were resin, some of them were plastic, but the resin was pre-painted because I bought them used. So they've since been processed, and the end result turned out pretty good. Careful not to put the paintbrush in mineral spirits. Paint. Red down there. Mouth. Then eyes. I guess we'll make some sort of yellow, I guess. Oh yeah. Oh, if you like body horror amalgamation stuff, I have I would shout out my Instagram right now, but my setup is just too fucked for that. I do a lot of chaos bullshit. Like you can see this random Primaris guy that I just had loose. I've been kind of turned into a possessed with like half of a Daemonette kind of merged into him. I do like me some chaos quite a bit. It's like. It's because I'm definitely of that like school of mini painting where like I like everything to be like gross scribbly bullshit. It's how I derive joy from this hobby. Like I could never do like a nice clean proper army. Show them the skin knot. I don't have it pulled up. If you link the Instagram that's on, the skin knot is like pretty high up on there. If you would like to see a dreadnought that's wearing whitey tidies, that's certainly on my Instagram. That's not a bit. To date, my most popular model because reality is has like a cruel sense of humor. Get like a little bit of that up. Hey, glad you think so. Hell yeah, hell yeah, hell yeah. Ah, fuck. Well, I don't need the dry brush palette right now, so it's on the floor. No, fuck, I do need a dry brush palette. Okay. Try this a little bit now, and then what I go ahead and do is I'll take a little bit more of the green, use that to touch up under the eyes and stuff. A little goopier than I would like, but that's also fine. Good. A little bit of that extra, just taking out that little under the eye bits. But yeah, I'm currently in the process of if you're familiar with like the Lost and the Damned army, I'm currently been playing. I usually do like Trench Crusade and Turnip 28 are my main games, but I've been playing a little bit of chaos bullshit in Lost and the Damned era, like 40k stuff with a friend of mine, and it's been really fun. And I originally was just doing because like the fabled Chaos Space Marine Codex from that era I gotta finally play with that, and it's bonkers great. You get so many options to customize your dudes. It's also fun because like I know you can in like modern 40k there is like a list that you can run Plague Marines and Noise Marines and stuff like that, but it's just like the really cool. You get like a way, in my opinion, like a way more fun way mix all the God Army stuff up together. Got like two snaggletooth bits. I think that should be good for what I'm wanting. Just like I said, this guy's gonna like be covered in thicker enamel because he is basing material at the end of the day. It's down. I can rearrange my lap. Oh, so yeah, I'm really big into using like enamel paints. I'm doing right now because it's what lets me different, like gets like this like really nice kind of coloration to it. Hey, it's all good. It's all good. I don't think being like a tourist is inherently bad. Like, you know, everybody's got to like stop in and like check stuff out and see if they like it and whatnot, or see if they can afford it, or just like find out what they like from the hobby, whether they like the minis or they want to do the lore or whatever. Usually for me, the only like issue with like tourism and gatekeeping is like when somebody just kind of barges in and they're like, well, I'm in charge now, and also I want to change everything that you like. Like that I'm not jazzed about. That happens less than you would expect though. Like I think a lot of people, like especially like who are getting into like online arguments about like 40k factions or whatever, you'll find out that a lot of them actually really have very little 40k knowledge, nor do they really care at the end of the day. But yeah, for people who are like, well, I think this looks cool and I like X, yeah, fuck yeah, let's go. Welcome aboard. If you have any questions about like minis in general or like 40k stuff, books to read, Tyranids I'm not as super familiar with. I think I've mostly ran into Gene Stealers more often in books than actually Tyranid stuff. Hey, I'm glad you like all that. Hell yeah. That is good to hold. That white up a little bit with some grime. Yeah. Oh, I never did get the wrapping, but that's also fine. That's good to hear. That's good to hear. I do go back and forth on the video game streams because I'm like, well, I like painting and I have a lot of models to paint, but I do like video games too. Like I gotta find that like good mixture. Which is good. Let's switch to a different one. Like really rinse that out. Yeah, let me get a different brush. I've had a lot of these like enamel brushes for a while, so I think a lot of them might be on their last legs because unfortunately I can't do my usual solution, which is dunk it in alcohol and hope for the best. The ones that get used the enamel washes don't quite get that level of like taken care of by that. I've tried. Oh, so the last couple of weeks I have not done XCOM streams because like I needed like some like schedule like fuckery, or like because I need to get some people trained for like a Lancer one shot. There should be XCOM 2 this week on Saturday. Saturday XCOM 2 should be back. I am excited because I do like XCOM 2. I am very nervous though because it's been like 2 weeks and that game is already very info loaded. So I'm hoping that goes well. We'll find out, I guess. At least I'm not doing that Iron Man anymore though. That should make things at least a little easier on me. That I'm like not super save scumming, but like, you know, if I need to reset a mission, that's fine. It's fine. Build an army for it. Yeah, that's cool. I mean, also too for like especially if you want to like really dip your toes in, Tyranids have some like really good kill teams. Like there was a new kill team for Tyranids that was released pretty recently, which is like not a whole lot of models, but it's like basically like a self-contained game mode as well. So you get some cool models, you get like a way more manageable amount of them in terms of price and just what you get. And like you could use that to kind of like once again if you're really interested in doing like the any of the hobby painting stuff. If not, I have not read these myself because like I'm not like the biggest like Blood Angels fan. I know the Devastation of Baal series is supposed to be really good, and the Tyranids are sort of like the big antagonist as part of that. So, and they wreck Blood Angel shit real hard. So if that's something you'd be into, that's also an option just to like get a little bit more Tyranid in your life. Other horror game streamers are watching like gaming streams. Yo, for sure, yeah. I mean, that's also why I do video games, just to have like a little bit more. I'm sure if I did all mini painting streams, people would be like, oh yeah, okay, I just, you know, kind of need a little bit more than that. Ah, fuck, drop the paintbrush. Yeah, try Devastation of Baal. So with the caveat that I've heard they're good, but I think a lot of people like it for the Blood Angels bit, but I do know that they are like the big. Devastation of Baal is when the Tyranids really fuck up the Blood Angel like homeworld stuff like that. So Yeah, the G-Jumps FOMO boxes are different. I feel like they've been getting slightly better with them, but we'll have to see. We'll have to see if these like Horus Heresy Combat Patrol equivalents hold out. They seem very neat. I really like that they're doing like combat patrols for Horus Heresy. I'm hoping they're like not like more expensive than God and they don't sell out in like 3 seconds. We'll find out, I guess. Pretty baller. Hey. See, get a little bit on there. Legs looking good. Legs looking good. Any other bit? I think I'm just like putting more and more wash on this guy. Base. Fork head's pretty good. There we go. Alright, cool. I think I can just do the blow dryer now. Oh, it's a Typhon box sold out? Oh, that is unfortunate that like Games Workshop for context, Typheus. It's really hard. Oh, they basically have a hard time keeping up stock. So that means that like it is a okay. I'll wait for the advice after the ad break. Ad breaks are the devil. There we go. Get some of that going on. Looking pretty good. There we go. Anti-aging ad. They know I'm a hag. But yeah, Typhus, unfortunately, Games Workshop does their capacity to keep up model stocks is very low. So a lot of stuff does get like sold out and scalped a bit. Definitely don't ever like napkin. That's the wrong word. I dropped a paper towel. Like never capitulate to scalpers, but like just be aware that sometimes do that. Yes, actually, it's a bit of both. Like for instance, I really like doing like kit bashes of like physical models and 3D, like regular models and 3D prints, but I also do like Twitch Crusades. So it's like, there we go. Like these guys are not done yet, but these guys are like entirely 3D prints. This ones are kit bash from various 3D printing kits. This guy, like the guy I showed earlier, this guy is a regular, like, this is a used body I bought from the shop that I strip paint from. But I used some 3D printed bits. These actually don't have any, these ones don't have any 3D printed bits, but that was kind of like a challenge / like experiment to see if I could like recycle old models I didn't want into this. I do have a resin printer though. I have a resin printer and I have an FDM, though the FDM one is currently out of commission because it is clogged and I need a specific screw removed so I could unclog it. And that screw has been stripped, which is unfortunate. So, but yeah, I do have a resin printer and I do love, oh fuck, I never showed you guys my Iron Warrior guy. Iron Warrior, Imperial Fist guy. So, speaking about that, so this guy is using regular Primaris body. I 3D printed a gun, an arm, a shoulder pad, and the wings. The idea that I want to do is I want to paint the body and mostly like kind of looking Imperial Fisty. And then from the front, I want the power pack to be kind of painted metal. And then I want to do like a stone texture on the wings. So it looks like that they're like chameleon in, but then when you flip it on the back, you can actually see like the wing flesh and whatnot. I don't know where he's going to be on my docket of bullshit to do. Probably pretty low if I'm going to be honest. So let me just get a new spot. I just need to get a new spot. Just until I start actively washing. Yeah, but no, I love kit bashing. I love it a lot. It's where I get a lot of the enjoyment of the hobby is. The tricky thing is Games Workshop officially is like they don't mind kit bashing, but they don't let you use some 3D printed bits you did not sculpt yourself. But I also don't play at official Games Workshop store. I play at my local mom and pop game store. They don't give a shit because A, they're cool people, and B, I also do support them too. Like I got a 3D printer, but like I buy a lot of my used models from there, and then I got my wonderful sponsor, Collectible Squids, which even with my stuff on, I'm able to out the squids. There we go. Ah, yeah, there we go. I'll sponsor squids. Oh, hold on. Oh shit, the music stopped too. Let me fix that. Hold on. Not the... we can... Oh yeah, let's do my Booty Jams playlist. I was totally not paying attention to all the music disappeared. I was like, wait, what the fuck? I know some people do like that kind of like there is a market for doing like kind of more like brush sound ASMR stuff. I'm not the person for that. I did one ASMR stream attempt, but I also did it wrong because I thought reading Time Cube would be a good idea. Time Cube is interesting in that like it's an interesting read, but also it is exhausting. Time Cube is an exhausting thing to try to read. It's fun though, but like it's especially as even eventually I was like, well, I don't think this is working out like I expected, even as a joke. And then I just switched over to playing Monster Rancher. So it was not like a bad stream overall, but yeah. I don't think I'm built for ASMR. There's plenty of other VTubers who are though, to be fair. They just don't, I guess they won't do like mini ASMR stuff, but that's fine. When I read Cursed Fiction, that's just more of a win than if. It definitely will happen because I do love reading cursed fanfiction bullshit. It's really good. Like, I just love that shit in general. But it's definitely been a bit, yeah. Again, trying to build this up as much as I can. It still kind of came up a bit. I do need to do like a very light, like do I put like a little bit of mineral spirits and just kind of go like a little bit on there, a little bit on there, a little bit on there, and just kind of like. Because I think like a lot of stuff would have already came off. Like when I did that, I don't think that like actively activated any of this really. A little bit there. Oh, I nearly dropped it, which is fine. Okay, it is lightening a bit as I air dry it. So there's no, I just need a little bit more heat, and then this guy's good to go. All right, now this is where we got to get my carrion. Oh God, why is like whenever you remove a paint and there's like goo that comes off, that's not great. How you doing, Battle Wreck? How you doing? I'm dealing with goo, not digging it. Especially because I'm gonna put this thing on my vortex mixer. If I put it in like a paper towel, then do that. How you doing? Today is a Chaos Spawn day. The other clean. I just now have a pile of sponges. Oh. Got this Carrying Crimson Yippee from Villainy Inc. It's really shiny, so I'm just gonna do that. And yeah, there we go. So yeah. And how you doing, Sport? Welcome. How you nerds doing? Much on there. I've been working on the Chaos Spawn lads again because I want to get them done. They're doing good though. They're doing good. So now I'm gonna take this like fleshy color and just kind of do like. Yeah, there we go. Just kind of. I found that if I just kind of do it like this style seems to work pretty good. I just take a little bit on there and just kind of like speckle it. Should also bring a bit of the kind of like moist look to it. Enough Garfield effect. No, never. One of these days I'll just do the entire series in one go and then everyone will know the true meaning of suffering. Couple more drops. For me it's more sad that I do think I've mostly exhausted the collected works of Shakespeare Hemingway. It's like I really like his stuff, but he actually was not super prolific. He did a couple of bangers, and did a couple of big series, and then just kind of like faded into the mist of time. Which I think that's I mean, I guess technically, even though I wish there was more from him, I do kind of prefer that to like becoming just like washed out or just like kind of like realizing like I kind of like to imagine like a world where he just never realizes what he's done. Like, one of the things that, like, so, as somebody who enjoys bad movies, everybody's probably like, why haven't you shown The Room ever? And I liked The Room, initially. And, like, this is gonna sound like the most, like, dumb pretentious I've ever been, but hear me out. Like, The Room is pretty good as, like a bad movie. It's very confusing. like the production value, the choices, the sex scenes are really strange. There's a reason why it's a lot. It's both like it is a genuinely baffling movie by a man who is a very baffling creature, but it's also very digestible bad. Like it's like it looks weird, but you're also not getting like it's not painful to watch, like physically painful like Conquest was. But at one point, Tommy Wiseau kind of like got in on the joke. And for me, that ruins a little bit of the whimsy. That's why, like, I'm glad that to this day, Neil Breen still believes he's making like high art. Neil Breen still believes he's like genuinely like making like important work for America. Because I don't want him to ever like I don't want him to gain any amount of self-awareness, because then it ruins the fun. For me, that's also why, like, I don't, like, whenever someone's like, Hal, why don't you do, like, Mega Squid versus, like, Cheerleader X? Just, like, some, like, whatever, just, like, dumb Asylum movie came out. Because Asylum knows they're making bad movies. Asylum knows they're making bad movies, and that's how they make money. They make a bad movie to be like, what? Sharknado 7? Shark Hurricane versus Jesus Shark? Whoa, we should watch that. Like, that's all it is. They make a dumb movie that they know is bad. Like, that's also, like, have you guys seen that there's, like, a War of the Worlds featuring Ice Cube that's apparently entirely done through, like, what is effectively a simulated Skype call? Like, that's, like, I don't genuinely believe that anybody putting that movie together believed that they were making a good movie. Like, you know, good for Ice Cube for getting a paycheck, I guess. But at least to me, the way that reads is that, like, they're, like, unfortunately, I do believe studios did learn after Morbius. Like, I do believe after the Morbius, like, it's Morbin time. It's so, like, I don't think Morbius made its money because Sony did not set out to make an ironically bad movie. Like, ironically fun movie, I guess. Sony would have not, like, preferred that if you liked Morbius genuinely, because they really wanted their own, like, Spider-Man Sinister Six MCU. However, I do fully believe that other, like, companies learned from Morbius. I fully believe other companies learned from Morbius and realize that they can make a bad movie that's intriguingly bad. And I'm sure that is probably going to be, like, the first of many. Like, I feel like that movie was probably engineered to be like this is probably going to be very, like, you know, tinfoil hat. I am fully of the belief that they probably, like, either they were filming a movie, realized it was bad and decided to pivot to this, or it was like that from the start. But I fully believe that they set out intentionally to create a shit movie. I know the haha joke, like, well, we were busy that week for Morbius, you should put it back in Sony. Listen, I'm aware. I know the bit. I'm just saying that I do think the irony wave for Morbius did create an opening for other companies to be like, we can just shit out. Like I said, it needs to be an intriguingly bad movie. So you see the premise. War of the Worlds remake. We've had so many of those, but whatever. War of the Worlds remake. Ice Cube. You know, the one of those fine bastions of acting. And then set entirely in front of a computer screen. What that means is the premise is bad, but intriguing. It probably was cheap as shit to make. There's no way that movie was expensive to make. You don't need sets, and you really don't need a lot of actor bullshit. And then that means then people will watch it, and they'll make memes of it. And, like, sure, are people pirating that for like, watch parties? Yeah. There's got to be at least a couple that watched it genuinely. And they only probably need a couple because I have to imagine it was cheap to make. The return's got to be incredibly low. You don't need a lot when everything is like a green screen, like, what's it called? It's effectively like a green screen, like Saturday Night Live sketch, but real. Like, it's just super easy to do that. So, like, I'm afraid, like, that's why I mean, like, you know, I hate bad things where the people who made it know it's bad, because then they didn't accidentally make art. They're purposely making a soulless cash grab. But also I hate irony to a certain, so like, okay, let me hear this. Let me explain myself. There are things that like I enjoy ironic, but like when I put my own work out there, I try to be earnest. There are people that try to make ironically bad things on purpose a lot because it is kind of like the perfect shield. If you do bad, you go, well, I made it ironically bad, so like, yeah, I know it's gonna suck. But then also if it gets like popular to be like, haha, yeah, I'm so cool. And I hate that. I hate that so much. It goes against all the earnesty of everything that I greatly enjoy in life. And it creates bad, like it's weird saying like art in this context, but yeah. I consider like Neil Breen movies a form of bizarre outsider art. It is a madman putting together a film that is like incorrectly made, but at every moment of a Neil Breen movie, that man, if Neil Breen is not sincere, he is genuinely is of the belief that he believes he made a like he's good. He's a great actor if he's faking his sincerity of those movies. And like, yeah, like the room was accidentally made, or like, you know, or like it's bad. But like now that Tommy, like anything that Tommy Wiseau's doing now, he's aware, he's in on the joke. The joke's over now. Yeah, it isn't really. It's the like a lot of the irony stuff is a coward's way of making art. And I realized that once again, I'm doing a little goofy toy kit bash I did, and it's probably the most pretentious thing you've probably ever heard me say. But I will stand by it. I will stand by it, making something ironically bad on purpose, and then hiding behind that. Like, and I'm not saying like you can't make anything ironically bad as like a joke or whatever. Like what's an example? Like the Neko Nyan Sugar Girls or whatever, the one that's like got like purposely shitty animation. They still had to like animate that. They still had to like animate that and put that together. Like that was a thing. There was effort there. There was a team behind that, even if the end result is supposed to look kind of shitty. So I don't know if that's like fighting against my own point, but still, like the people who made that were like out to make something, even if that something was kind of dumb and stupid, but like dumb and stupid like on purpose. But yeah, but as opposed to like an Asylum movie or like that the War of the Worlds, where their goal is just to like make something dumb so that you'll watch something dumb, and if it's bad, haha, I made a bad movie, who cares? And then like then they'll just siphon free bucks off of that. I just like that. But Chaos Spawn, Slaaneshi blood style. Still, I did not get the exact same kind of like tone that I liked from the what's it called? From the Flesh Cave. And I guess I could maybe, like, I think I definitely need to wait for the enamels to like truly fully like re-harden now before I might want to attempt to do another light dry brush, but I could totally do that. That might not be a bad idea to do. But I also kind of, I don't know, that's the meat. This also might be another thing where I just gotta let dry a bit. And then I'll be like, oh yeah, no. Actually, like, scrape it. Once again, I gotta be like way rougher than this. I keep forgetting that I can just like really just kind of just like, ugh. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. The rougher I am with this, just the more of the stuff I don't want gets removed. Sponge. This sponge is like now entirely red. I guess these are made to be just. I keep feeling like because I using Q-tips, I'm like, oh no, I need to save these. Once again, I'm getting that like stupid brain thing I got going on, where it's like, oh no, these are nice. I have to save them for a special occasion. Like, no, they make them sponge. People buy these all the time just to like use and just kind of like get rid of. I don't gotta do that. I don't gotta do that. That one's gotta just dry a bit normal style. And yeah, there we go. I still think the Nurgle ones turn out in the way that I'm more jazzed about, but I don't think these are bad either. I still think these are pretty legit. Little bits. I think especially this one I kind of avoided adding the blood effect to any of the stuff like that. I think now I want to like change that a little bit. That's... Well, yeah, this one did not get any. Wait, hold on. Why did YouTube Music stop playing music? Oh, god damn it. So there's like a random, I'm gonna be honest, there's a random Russian song that I don't know exactly the lyrics to, but I know what's it called? That apparently it's got like a, like, what's it called? I think there's like I think the lyrics are about suicide, so like every now and then YouTube will flag me, be like, hey bud. It's that usual thing where it's like, hey bud, just double checking if you're okay. You know, if you need some resources, we got some resources. And like, conceptually I understand that. Like, you know, some people might need that if they're listening to like real bad songs. But I'm an adult. I've listened to this song 10 times, if not more. You know this. God, no, I don't know. The thing is, I don't speak any Russian. The song I almost played, it has like a whale on it. I don't know if that narrows anything down, but that's about the best description I can give you on that. Dry it. Let those two dry. Oh shit, we got good. Oh. So I got these boys. I got these lads. By Hal Vorback. You know what? I already got the enamel stuff ready. And they probably need some touch up, but I think this is some touch up that I could like touch up after an enamel wash. Yeah, let's get the shit. Let's get the lads. Yes, keeping the kind of oh yeah, these are the body parts that went into one of the different one. Oh, that might not be it then. Yeah, these are the lads that ended up in the big horrible monster. I just put up the brush. There we go. We got the brush, and then also get. My hands are so coated in enamel bullshit that as soon as I grip these, it's already starting to like attach itself to there. Fine. Oh shit! Also, let me make sure I get the. Here we go. All right, so let's get this going. I'm gonna have so much enamel in today. Hell yeah! Because I do think there's like a little bit of touch-up stuff I need to do on these guys, but I also wonder if like the enameling will kind of either make that more obvious, or if maybe it'll just like cover it and then I don't have to do as much bullshit. So that'd be good. I also still got the big mech boy. I do got the big mech boy that from last Sunday that needs to be worked, but I have not been able to varnish him because it has been storming like a fucking monster where I'm at. They're just it's either storming or it's like constantly like a misty drizzle. And because of that, I just have not had a good time that I could actually go outside and do like a matte varnish just to make sure I could seal everything in. And that's been really, really annoying. It's been really, really frustrating. I assume eventually the weather will turn around and things will be fine, but I just don't know when the fuck that's going to be. Oh, Vorback turning out good. Flesh colors turned out pretty legit, especially... Yeah, there we go. Yeah, so I think especially once I kind of like... Fix that, maybe is the wrong word. Once I do the sort of like removing stuff. It's... I don't know, it's... I live in an area where like... It's cooled down a little bit because of the rain. But not a huge amount. Like, it's still like really warm where I'm at. But, it's been annoying because it gets in the way of trying to do like yard work and everything, and I'm just tired of it. It was fine a couple times, but this has been like the rainiest summer that I recall ever living here. Like we've been. I live in an area where like previously they're like in fact, we've had heat advisory warnings, yeah, but we basically had like, yeah, no, this is functionally like we're in like a drought. So like I can't be like ever like too upset because I'm like, this is technically good we're getting the rain. But I also want to be a little upset because it really throws a monkey wrench into a lot of stuff I want to be doing. Get that nice dry layer in a couple spots. This is also going to be like the first test I've done of using this type of like enameling that I like on a Mark 6 body. Previously, I did a heavy weapons team that was using a similar torso. But I just did not use this type of, this specifically like this brand of enamel wash. And the last one, they turned out like really gritty in a way that like looked kind of bad. Like I still have that weapons team that I just need to like sit down and like, I don't think they're totally fucked, but they definitely need like a lot more TLC. Ironically, I did them because I was like, oh yeah, I want to use them for a word bearer specific like rule that exists in Horus Heresy 2E that does not exist in Horus Heresy 3E. Now, mind you, a heavy weapons squad with las cannons is not like a useless model by any mean. I don't know like what like the meta is for Horus Heresy. It's Horus Heresy like list building is really interesting because you get basically like two, like, and I don't even think this is like two different crowds. I think you get like the same crowd that just kind of like gives kind of wildly conflicting points. So like a lot of times if you're like, hey, I'm a new player, I'm doing Horus Heresy, what should I do for like my army? Like what's like a good baseline? And you get a lot of people that are like, just do what you want. It's a narrative game. And it's like, yes, I understand that. We all understand that here. We get it. We came to the narrative game to play the narrative game. We get that. Yes. The problem is it's like, okay. Like, just like simple advice for like, yeah, I want to like crack some vehicles. Like, what would I want? And then it's just like, you know, there's only so many times you can hear do what you want, just pick models that are cool, or you just begin to get angry. Like, yes, I'm picking models that are cool. That's the point. I'm way ahead of you. I'm doing that. Please. Please, I want to know the pros and cons of the different heavy weapons. That's all I want. I'm not asking to be the sweatiest tryhard gamer ever. I just want to know basic weapon properties. Yeah, I'll follow your heart works to some degree, but some direction at all. And I have not looked super deep into that similar conversation for Horus Heresy 3rd edition. I think it's going to be a little bit more, I don't think it's going to be as bad, maybe. The new deployment system seems really intriguing, and I have not fucked around with it yet, so I'll have to eventually see how that turns out. I will say, even if like the armor probably is not as like effective as maybe I would like, it's not, the thing is like last time I tried this, the armor turned out like weirdly streaky, which I did not like, but this seems to be a good balance between like, I got a little bit of shade on like the legs and stuff, but everything else is not too bad. Let's not do all the wing guys yet. Let's do this guy. Let's go. Just to kind of mix it up a little bit. Yeah, it's tricky because like there are some like, I think Turnip is a game that like follow your heart and go entirely on vibes is a bit more of a coherent like way to recommend things. But I still like I actually like ran my first demo game for like a player I did not know on Sunday, and it was a lot of fun. So, but I was still trying to be like, yeah, you know, this is not like a real sweaty try-hard game, but like this is what this model will do. This is what this model will do. This is why you would bring this. This is why you would bring that. And then, like, you know, that turned out pretty good. That was sort of exactly the info that I think would have been helpful to know as a new player. So, hell yeah. I am using, let me put this lid on. This is AK Wargame Wash's Dark Wash. It's that. Specifically, so I usually just take like 3, I don't have like a proper measurement. It does need thinned down though. Straight out of the bottle is going to be insanely dark. Don't do that. I fucked up that way. What I usually do is I will take like maybe like 2 or 3 loaded brushes of that and put it on a little stirring dish. And then I'll mix in maybe, I got like a little dropper and I'll put in maybe like 3 or 4 drops of like mineral spirits, mix them around, and like it's, you still want it to have like a wash-like consistency. Like if it looks like it's like physically bunching up, like if you see like a thick smear, you're probably gone too far. And I've learned that the hard way. I have some models that are they're not bad looking that way. And there's probably some way to do it for like, maybe like if you want to do that, like I do the reductive technique, but there's some people that like the way they do it is they basically, I've seen people online that will take a model, paint it like a color, then basically like cocoon it in streaking grime, like straight up like the model is no longer visible. And then they use like the reductive technique, which reductive technique is when I do the blow dryer and then I wipe it off. That's what that is. Because it recesses the dark sides and it removes extra pooling and whatnot. Have I used this before? Oh, regular streaking grime is pretty legit. I've used it before too. It's tricky because the formulation of the streaking grime varies a lot. So like, I cannot guarantee that the bottle I have might be like similar color and coverage to whatever bottle you got. Do I got a model I could just like streak and grind for test reasons? Maybe. But overall, it's still good. It's still good. Like, it'll still look fine, especially for Death Guard. Let me see. Let me finish, like, wiping off this lad real quick. And then I think maybe... What do I got? I could do that with... I have an idea. Here, I can probably do you a solid. Okay, I have a real good sample model. Let me do this. Perfect. I'll leave the rest of the Halvor back out because I'll probably still get back to them. All right, so here's what I'm gonna do. Oh yeah, no problem. Let's see. I have I have winter streak. Do I have vanilla streak? That's the real question. Hold on, check them out. Hey, I do have regular streaking grime. Okay. It's old, so I'm gonna try to like put it on the mixer. So I got this boy. This is a Dredge Marine from the Mezik. I have no idea how to ever pronounce his name. So I primed him brown because that made sense at the time. And I think the next step for this little like sampling is I'm going to dry brush the ever-loving fuck out of him. With probably... Oh, I think I know what color I want to use. Yes, that guy. Okay, there we go. So I'm going to take this guy real quick. And I'm going to take my biggest brush. And I think I'm going to dry brush it with some buff. I'm effectively going to create like a very weird sort of... Might be sort of like a pseudo slap chop, kinda. We'll find out. I'm just gonna dry brush like a bunch. Basically, just try to get like all the details on this bad boy. Yeah, this is probably gonna be more of an overbrush than a dry brush, but whatever. Similar enough idea. I just need to make this slightly brighter so you can see sort of what this is going to look like. Try to hit up as much of the body. The tentacles, I guess I'll get to. I put some tentacles on the base because, why not? Because I have them. I'm going to do this to kind of bring back, like, I'll leave a little bit of brown recesses, but I think the idea is to kind of bring it back to this particular color. That around there. Some recesses that I will just not be able to reach with this big old brush, and I think for demonstration purposes that won't be a big deal. A little bit on the blade. The blade is also probably going to be painted metal later, so I'm not super... There, this is going to be really chalky too because I'm not properly regulating this. Like I said, we're definitely in that like I'm goofing around territory. All right, there we go. So we got him, John Example Marine. Rinse this out real quick. All right, so I get a mixing tray. So enamels are ideally don't use them out of the bottle. They are very thick. Once again, I said there are some people that will do that and they'll just like super remove everything. My usual method is oh no, the lid's crusted over. Oh god. Watch me not be able to open this and just entirely negate the idea of doing this entire show and tell. Hold on. Thing is, I have other streaking grime. Like, I have winter streaking grime. Oh, I think it's moving. Yay, there we go. Okay. That's the thing is, like, enamel pigments are thick. So, I have like a little mixing tray. I can't show this on stream because it's really reflective and I don't want to dox myself for this. But I'm going to take a brush about yay big. I'm probably going to load up maybe, like I said, like 2 maybe like 2 or 3, like kind of like full brushes filled with this. And I got my little squeezy thing just filled with mineral spirits. I'm probably gonna drop like maybe like 3 or 4 drops in there. I would go not in like let's look. You can always add more. You can always add more. So Matthew, have yourself a good night and take it easy, yo. Screw this back on. God, this is gonna be a pain in the ass to get off later, but that's fine. You do that, you mix it, and like this, the general like look of the streaking grime is very much going to be like a dirty kind of like green brown. That's what that's what sort of like the current recipe's like. So you can kind of see I'm going probably a bit thicker on, but whatever. So then, there we go. This is also effectively me sort of doing like a tutorial on this. I do think like, you know, there's a bunch of different like enamel providers. Streaking grime is probably the easiest to find at like a store. The AK one I had to order on Amazon. I had to order the AK wash stuff on Amazon. Villainy Ink you have to order directly from them, which is what I did for like the blood effect and some stuff. They're still pretty good though. They're still pretty good. All right. So I got the lad. This instance, I got him covered. Normally, you know, season to taste for coverage and whatnot. So then the next step for this is you can either let it air dry, or I like taking a blow dryer and just like not fully drying it, but enough to kind of like flush out some of the, you want to dry some of the mineral spirits. You want to dry some of the mineral spirits and then just kind of like leave a little bit of the pigment, like keep it like a little bit wet. And you can always reactivate it later. Like you can always use mineral spirits to kind of reactivate it if it's like too dried on. There we go. And we can kind of see that's looking like not too bad. I'm gonna take a new sponge. I'm just gonna go and like I said, just kind of go like wipe off the excess. Just kind of wipe it back up. And this you can just kind of go just kind of all over. You can use Q-tips. As really recently, I've been enjoying the fuck out of these makeup sponges. Use what you can though. Q-tips are good. They're cheap. They're disposable. The tricky thing with Q-tips is sometimes you will leave behind like fuzz, which there's so many of my minis that like when I'm getting ready to take a picture of them for like Instagram, I just see fuzz on there and I have to like get rid of that fuzz. I do find that sponges tend to remove more stuff, but you are left with less fuzz. So it's like a pretty good. It's I think it's a reasonable trade-off. So there we go. I'm not gonna lie, I'm actually kind of digging this color scheme. Prime brown, dry brush, buff, and then you just like grime and then remove. And yeah, I think for what you would want to do Bork, I would probably I don't know what color your Death Guard you're going for, but like, you know, just do like a base coat of that. Probably do the metals and before the stage 2. I skipped a lot of the base coating just for like demonstrative purposes, but like, you know, like you don't necessarily need to do all your highlights and stuff because removing that will sort of bring the highlights back. Though you can, though. It does help. It's not a total wash to remove all the highlights at the stage. Just gonna try to remove as much as I feel comfortable with in this instance. Probably isn't gonna be a huge amount more. I'm pretty... For demonstrative purposes, I'm really... Because like, I think now I could just go back and like... There we go. Oh, I think standard green will look pretty good. This is fairly close to a standard green, like, idea. So yeah, okay. So yeah, that is a streaking grime Death Guard guy. Did everything, like, hopefully all that made sense and, like, that gave you sort of a rough idea, like, you know, adjust to your flavors and whatnot. Probably do the metals and other details in advance. But yeah, honestly, that's good. I think if I went back and, like, painted the metal... This guy would pretty much be like tabletop ready. I don't know what I'd use him for because I got regular Death Guard, but whatever. Oh yeah, no problem, no problem. I like helping out. Oh, and I got the rest of the lads. Let me over here. There we go. Let me take a sip real quick. Yeah, I'm honestly... I'm sort of just like a big fan of enamels in general. Yeah, I think generally if you're doing that sort of like enamel, like streaking grime, kind of like, I forget exactly what it's called, like the official kind of like community name, whatever. Base coats will get you there. Or sometimes, like, there are some times that I find that, like, a little bit of highlighting is pretty good, though it does significantly darken things. Like, I mean, duh, but also, like, you know. Okay, for instance, so I like the AK Dark Wash stuff because I just like the color for it. It's just a color I like. So you can kind of see this is a good comparison of, like, letting it dry. So, like, this is not streaking grind, but the idea is very similar. You know, that was, you saw me put a very thin layer on this guy, and then this guy is, like, fresh. The wings are especially showing it. But everything else has also gotten, like, that little bit of tinging. And, you know, you can go thicker, you can go thinner, you can remove more. Like I said, if you want, like, if there's, like, an area that you want to be way brighter that you accidentally or purposely enameled, you can just use some mineral spirits to kind of, like, reactivate it while it's still semi-dry. Or semi-wet, I guess is a better way to say that. And then you can just sort of wipe it off from there. That should get you covered for enamels. That's, like, there's I will say that there, if you ever want to look at, like, YouTube videos for that, just look up, like, grimdark enamel painting, whatever. You'll get infinite. I really like this style. It was definitely one of those, like, fad styles for a while. The idea of, like, it's the streaking grime grimdark style thing has been, like, a very, it was a fad because it does get models done looking very good really quick. It's a technique I like using, but also, like, you know, for the amount of models I need to paint, and also for, like, you know, I can't get super detailed on stream because, like, a lot of the close-up shots are just not feasible with my setup and, like, you know, like, being a VTuber. And it also just works with the kind of minis I like. So it's great for me. I'm one of those people that, like, when there is a flavor of the month, I'm like, but no, I like that flavor. I will continue to eat that flavor. I don't know I have not watched any, like, direct, like, mini like, channel stuff other than the Trent Miscast has been doing his video vlog series, which has been really cool. But I haven't really seen if there's any, like, every now and then you'll see, like, the like a kind of, like, painting technique phase, or, like, a paintbrush, not like paintbrush, like a painting line gets, like, a lot of attention and stuff like that. It comes and goes, you know. If you are a mini painter on YouTube and, like, mini painting is your, like, life, like that's how you, like, put food on the table, you either kind of got to lean into those sometimes, or you just straight up do tutorials. Oh, yeah, the Carrion Crimson looks really good. I will say, as a heads up, basically most of the Villainy inks dry with a satin finish. For Death Guard, that's probably not a big deal, but I've had some models that still kind of look very satiny, even if I've, like, diluted them. That's kind of why I switched to this sort of AK Dark Wash, because it doesn't got that satin effect to it. I don't think that's a bad thing. It's just more like hey, as a heads up. That's all good, Emperor Mankind. Have yourself a good night and take it easy, yo. You should paint. Everyone should paint. Hell yeah. We'll definitely get your painting on. There we go. Get another. Oh, I guess I can hold it from this end too. This is gonna get all over my fingers, but whatever. Yeah, it's, like, partially shiny. Do I have a good example of that? I think if you look at my, I don't have it. Do I have a still of that guy? Hold on. I think for me, the most egregious example, I'm going to, this might be loud. As a heads up, I cannot guarantee this is not going to be stupid loud. I'm going to try to mute it as possible, though. Cool. Okay, there we go. So I think, like, this guy's a good example. The Lord Cacophonist. Like, the armor was not meant to be as satin as it turned out. Like, I didn't use a Carrion Crimson on there. It just kind of always will have a sheen to it because of, like... to be fair, though, so Goon's Grime doesn't have that much of a satin finish. However, there is a black from that line that I don't remember what the name is. But there's a black from that line I really like. Yeah, always we do be loving tubes here. But yeah, there's a black from that line. Oh, I'm grabbing another makeup. I don't think I need to do one for each. One every two. specifically, there was like, okay, some people were like, yeah, the Goon's Grime is like a very light brown. I kind of wanted like something more kind of like a darker brown tone for a lot of my stuff. And there was some guy on like somewhere, I think maybe it was like, I just did some basic Googling, was like, yeah, I mixed the Goon's Grime with with one of the blacks in the series, and that definitely had the right color, but it made it way more satin than I like, which is why I switched to this, because this the AK the AK War Games Wash's Dark Wash is that. It's that same color that I wanted. Like, it's like the same tone roughly, but it dries matte, which I really, really like. I mean, not Villainy inks are just going to be like that. Streaking Grimes typically aren't as satin. Another thing you can do is after the mini is like, you know, done, you can hit it with a matte varnish, which will tone that down a little bit, and like, you know, also protect your mini. So it's like, it's not a bad thing to do overall, really. So yeah, that's a way to dial that down just a wee bit. You can dial that down a wee bit doing that. 3. So that's it. Have yourself a good night as well, and take it easy, yo. I think my plan is I want to at least get all these guys enameled up, and they'll be good because I can just use that I can then just like touch up later and whatnot, which would be nice. Oh yeah, no problem. So I like giving advice. I like helping people out in the hobby. I can see the enamel spray on my desk that I'm gonna have to like scrub later. That's fine. I don't have to scrub later, and I probably won't if I'm going to be honest. But you know, I'm just due for like a deep desk clean one of these days. It's coming. It's coming eventually. I think I'm at the point that I almost need to buy a new silicone mat if I want this to be like the stains on here have become resistant to my usual methods of cleaning, leaving me just like what the fuck do I do now then? And I think the only answer for what the fuck I do now is I think I get a new mat, but I also don't like need it. Like the quality of my streams does not increase if I have a cleaner mat to paint on. But maybe it'd still be nice. I don't know. I do like when things are clean and tidy, but I also realize that like my desk and everything to do with mini painting is always in like a constant state of just being just like dirty and covered in bullshit. So it's like, maybe just attempting to even have a clean desk at all is sort of just like fighting the inevitable. Like I'll never win. It's just always going to be this way. I should know by now, but I keep resisting. Yeah, like a green mat. I used to use, I have an Evangelion cutting board that I used to use for background picture, yeah. Yeah, like my desk right now has like, and also because like, I'll also keep a lot of projects that I worked on stream that I just haven't finished on the desk. Like I have my, what's it called? My new Antioch Swiss Guard Yeomen are on the desk. I have my various lemon pigs on here. I got a bunch of paints that have migrated here, which I need to put somewhere else. I got some clan rats. Yeah, that's true, Soul. How you doing? Yeah, that might be nice just for like mental stuff. Sometimes I forget about just like the mental component of things. So it's just like, yeah, like, is there like a practical reason to do this? No, but like, you know, for like a morale standpoint, just keep the brain nice. How you doing? I'm working on the Hal Vorback a little bit because the Chaos Spawner is kind of in a state of like drying. It's looking pretty good. I think the Nurgle ones are basically done. It's the Slanesh ones that I probably need to go back and the Slanesh ones I probably need to go back and fuck with a wee bit. So yeah, till then I'm just using the rest of this wash to try to like, I say rest of this wash like I'm not constantly reloading it, but it's like, well, I might as well get the lads like enameled, so if I realize that I need to do some touch-ups on them, they'll be done now. Oh. This guy's gonna have a big fuck-off glow effect on the flames and also get his various eyes and whatnot. These guys are gonna get like some level of like the ominous like word bear's glow I've been using for everything. It's fun. Green glow lenses and stuff is just too good for me not to. I don't care if it's like against canon or whatever. I'll do green plasma. I don't give a fuck. Hell yeah. Plus, I just use the excuse if anyone's ever like, well, that's not the color plasma. I'll just be like, on my Forge World, fuck you. If in a book Alpha Legion can have plasma that doesn't overheat, I can have green plasma. Fuck you. I think the implication in that book though was that what's it called? Was that the Alpha Legion were borrowing tech from the Tau a little bit. I believe plasma is canonically blue. Like, I mean, like, no, like, you know, it's one of those things that, like, even G-dubs painters will paint plasma, whatever. But I do think canonically plasma is blue, and then there's some other colors for, like, you know, like, melt the shit, I believe, is, like, just kind of consistently red. I forget what color Volkite stuff is. Usually, once you get into, like, the Heresy era, like, weapons that did not survive the Heresy, that's where me remembering what colors everything are kind of falls apart. But yeah, there is a canon plasma color, but it's people do whatever they fuck because no one gives a shit. And that's me, person who doesn't give a shit. Last little bits of wiping on this lad. There we go, there we go, there we go. Cool. Yeah, I'm a big proponent on there. Your models, paint them however the fuck you want. Like, I will like, I'll keep like some degree of like, you know, like I'll follow color schemes and stuff like that. Like if I painted some Apothecarian guys for Heresy and I kept them, you know, they had white on them. It was more like a light gray, but like, you know, they were semi close to what they should be, but like for like details like that, fuck, I could not give less of a fuck about making sure my plasma is the exact same color as canon plasma. I'm good. I'm fine. I can see the boy's teeth now more, which I'll need to go back and probably repaint the teeth, and then probably maybe do a little another wash. I don't know. Yeah, I believe the lads are good. I believe the lads are good. Hell yeah. All right. With that, I don't think there's like a huge amount of time left to get super started on anything else. So I'm gonna pause the music. I'm gonna go to the chatting screen. Wow. And wow. Thank you, coming nerds. Oh, how you doing, Fred? That's so good. I am doing great. I'm also wrapping up. But yeah, thank you nerds for coming. I had a lot of fun. Schedule-wise, tomorrow, the return of movie nights. We are going to be watching, God, what are we watching? We are going to be watching Dragonheart because, suffering. Pain and suffering. It's like, this is going to be Dragonheart 5, which, is certainly going to be a thing. Then on Thursday, the return of Illbleed. I don't know how many Illbleed streams we got left. We just got to the 6th stage. 0. World of Worlds movie night will very likely not happen. Oh boy, howdy, Goroth. There is a straight to VHS kids movie sequel, and then there's an entire series of prequels where the last one, the one we're going to be watching tonight, how you doing, Ash? The last Dragonheart movie was made in 2020. So yeah, just let that stew in your noodle. The third one isn't bad. The fourth one is frustrating to watch. The fourth one is incredibly frustrating to watch. But yeah. All right, YouTube people, I'm going to cut you nerds loose. So bye, YouTube people. Bye-bye. And who be doing stuff on Twitch.tv.